momentarily. And we're going to be on Instagram. We're going to be on X. We're going to be on um, in YouTube, in TikTok. So those are our platforms. Bear with me here as I get this stuff going, and we should be momentarily. But yeah, it looks like Mandami. Some are suggesting that Mandami is the face of the Democratic Party. I don't know. That seems a bit heavy, but that's what I want to get you guys on here for. I want to hear your opinion on that. Do you believe that Mandani with an N, Mamdani, do you believe that he is likely to be the face of the Democrat Party? And we're going to talk about it from an aspect of if Mondani is the face of the Democrat Party, is that a good thing or not? Because he is obviously running as well, not running anymore. He successfully won, but he is a socialist candidate. How to get scarier shit that he said he's from the government and he's here to help. Well, something to some degree, President Trump is doing that. President Trump, when he's going into these cities with the ICE and the National Guard and stuff to lower crime, he's kind of suggesting the same thing, that he's from the government and he's here to help. I mean, that's literally the same thing. We just aren't viewing it that way. But he is sending big government into cities and claiming he's there to help. So I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Because a lot of folks do not believe big government has the answers. So, and I believe that statement, worst words you can hear is "I'm from the government. I'm here to." That's a Ronald Reagan quote, if I'm correct. But like I said, President Trump is kind of ruling that way. He is using big government in towns and better yet in Democrat states, rather. I mean, to lower crime. What else is he using them for? To protect the polling places. He's now doing it. He's now sending them in for polling places. And of course, going after Antifa. So President Trump is using big government for a host of reasons as well. And it's at the resistance of these areas. They don't want big government there. So I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That's kind of what President Trump is doing. Let me go straight to the program here now. I should be able to get everything up and running. For some reason, this device is really freaking dark. Okay, I see why. All right, so having said that, we should be live on all platforms. We're going to be on X, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal, depending on who you ask. Going to start right out by getting into the thick of it. Now that everybody's tuned in, Donnie versus Trump on this. Mom, like M-O-M, but it's M-A-M. Donnie. I guess it would be like Momdonny or Donnie. Donnie emerges victorious. Now, obviously, there were a host of other races that took place last night. So we're going to cover quite a bit here. But we're not just going to cover what happened in regards to the election night. But I do want to ask a few questions in regards to it. Is it some sort of referendum on President Trump? Now, many are countering by stating, look, the Democrats only won in Democrat cities. Big fucking deal. So I want to hear from you folks. Do you see this as any referendum on President Trump and his policies? Or is it just Democrats democrating? So, and I will point this out. One of the things I will say, even though obviously New York City is a Democrat city, so it's blue regardless. But even though these New Jersey, I don't have they been red since Chris Christie. New Jersey's governor is woman red in New Jersey. Virginia is not blue. Virginia is not a blue area, but now their governor is going to be a Democrat as well. But in regards to Democrats doing Democrat shit in Democrat areas, fact is, even if you look at it that way, the Democrat support in these areas grew. In other words, there were minorities, there were African Americans, there were Hispanics that voted for Trump last year in 2024. That number has dwindled. That number has dwindled. Biden did well with Hispanics and African Americans in 2020. Kamala Harris lost quite a bit of them in 2024. This race yesterday, which is an off-year race, it only tells us so much. But if you're looking at what happened, it appears as if the African American community and the Hispanic community has shifted back Democrat. So even in blue areas where Democrats are doing Democrat shit, you still can tell, such as voter turnout, percentages, and things like that. So 93% of New York City yesterday went Democrat. I'm watching Greg Gutfeld on the Fox. He's like, how the hell can a city be 93% Democrat? So he's saying that is essentially hopeless for New York City. They're so far gone that they're about as blue as a lifeless swimmer. Cincinnati got Purvis. F just step, bro. I don't get what you mean there, Joseph. I mean, you're talking about the Cincinnati race. I get it. Purval, you said F just step, bro. I don't get the last half of that, Joseph, but thanks for the input. People cross party lines, yeah. But is it a referendum on Trump, or is there something else at play? Did the Democrats have such a successful night due to President Trump, or are there other issues at play? We're going to talk about it from that standpoint. Also, folks are suggesting that Mamdani, being a non-apologetic Muslim and socialist, he doesn't hide it, he doesn't downplay it, etc., etc. If he's the face of the Democrat Party's future, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's be clear. Remember the old lady that wouldn't vote for Obama before John McCain snatched the microphone out of her hand? I'm not going to vote for him because he's a Muslim. You still hear them often use Barack Obama's middle name of Hussein, trying to illustrate that he's a Muslim. Mamdani is a Muslim without hiding it. He certainly has a funny name just like Obama. Will that hurt him if he's the face of the Democrat Party? And of course, we saw what happened with Bernie Sanders being a socialist, and how ever since Bernie Sanders came on the scene claiming to be a socialist, it has hurt the Democrat Party and some of the other races. Hasn't hurt Bernie Sanders whatsoever, but it's hurt other candidates when they brand them as a socialist. Now, which is why every single race, every Democrat running gets branded as a socialist. Whether they are or not, doesn't matter. Just like branding Republicans as a racist often happens, because calling someone a socialist or calling someone a racist has demonization capabilities and powers to it. So you're going to often hear Republicans referred to as racist. You're going to hear Democrats referred to as socialists. Those are two terms that get thrown around a lot. Paul Smith, thank you for the support. Appreciate that. So what I want you to hear, we're going to talk about the other candidates, but I do want to come with a clip because I think this is worthy of noting. This is because listen, Trump promises made, promises kept. You often hear that from President Trump. Mamdani has made some promises. I just want to point that out. Mamdani has made some promises, and it is worthy of asking, will these promises be kept? Similar to Trump promising to end wars in 24 hours, bring down your prices of groceries and things like that. Trump made some really strong promises. Mamdani has done something similar.
I am here with the mayor-elect of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
You broke a lot of new ground last night. First Muslim mayor of New York, first Democratic socialist, first mayor to win more than 1 million votes in, 3 decades, youngest mayor in more than a century. So what is the message and the mandate behind that?
The message is about transforming the most expensive city in the United States of America into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker. And what New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs gave us last night was a mandate to pursue the most ambitious affordability agenda the city has seen since the days of Fiorello and LaGuardia. And it's time that we start to deliver it.
Well, let's dig into that, because you're talking about a rent freeze, you're talking about free buses, you're talking about free childcare. Can you do that without raising taxes?
Now, did you hear what he just said? Rent freeze, free childcare, free transportation, free buses. Now, that's a strong promise. That's right up there with we're going to end a war in 24 hours or we're going to bring down your prices of groceries immediately. Some of the promises Trump made. He's talking about free buses. New York City, obviously, their transit system makes a fortune. And you know, if you've had any children in your life, you know how much child care costs. It is no fucking joke. It is no fucking joke. So he's talking about free child care. Can that be done for the population of New York City? I dare say, because people talk about socialism and high taxation makes people move away from liberal cities. You start offering free child care, you may have some people moving to the city, but they're going to be on the lower end of the income bracket. Paul Smith says, I have all the answers you will ever seek. You sounds like the man to speak to, Paul. So can Mamdani deliver on such strong promises? Free child care, free buses, public transportation, and a rent freeze. Now, how will that be done?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%. And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey. These things together raise about $9 billion, which more than pays for our economic agenda and also starts to Trump-proof our state.
But are you worried that could drive
taxes? Taxes. You hear him talking about he's going to raise taxes. Will that run the one percenters out of New York? So, because if they do, if these additional taxes he's proposing runs the one percenters out of New York, then Mamdani doesn't have the money to make this stuff happen. It's as simple as that. If it runs the New Yorkers that have money out of that city, they don't want to pay that 1% or, I mean, these sound like small percentages, but let's be clear. The only reason that, there is such a huge wealth disparity in this country is because the rich don't want to pay an extra cent. So 1% may sound like very little to somebody who's worth $1 billion, but fact is, people don't want to pay taxes no matter what income bracket they're in. You, the rest of us probably making, low six figures or less, we don't want to pay taxes, but the guy making 9, 10, 11, 12 figures, he don't want to pay him any more than you do. Even if he's in range of wealth that is beyond anything he could ever spend. He still does not want to pay more in taxes. So taxes are unpopular, but can he deliver on what he's saying? Continuing on, though, those are the basics in real countries. Sean, I don't know if you suggested that America's not a real country, but I do agree with you that child care, free public transportation. Listen, I lived overseas. They didn't offer free transportation, but they did offer a lot more social programs than America does. In fact is, in terms of civilized first world countries, America's got to be toward the bottom in terms of what it does for its citizens in regards to social programs. We got to be pretty fucking far down because there's a lot of countries that are even what they call it, second world or developing countries. There are plenty of those countries that have more entitlement social programs for their citizens than America does. We got to be pretty low on the list. I haven't done any homework. I'm speculating, but I would assume we got to be pretty low on the list. So in addition to talking about Mamdani and whether or not he will deliver, we know the Democrats did win as governor in New Jersey, New Virginia, and California Prop 50. What say you? California won the right to gerrymandering and offset the 5 congressional seats in Texas that Governor Greg Abbott was doing. But here's the difference. Greg Abbott just did it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott received the calling from Trump. I need 5 more seats. I think I deserve it. And Governor Greg Abbott in the powers that be in Texas just did it. They didn't ask the people their opinion on it at all. California under Gavin Newsom actually let the people decide in this. And it worked. So they do have the right now to temporarily gerrymander the upcoming midterms and I believe the 2028 election as well. So that's been done to counter what President Trump has done. I talked to you guys about gerrymandering. What do you think about it? Wow. Anyhow, continuing on so we can get to the comments, so we can get to the box state callers. You know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor. We are MAGA friendly, always have been MAGA friendly, always will be MAGA friendly. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. This is a free speech, uncensored forum. You enjoy that, follow the program if you're watching on Instagram, TikTok, or X. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a sub. Also, longest shutdown in U.S. history. That is officially where we are now. The longest shutdown in U.S. history. Wow. Who's at fault? Who is at fault for this? Obviously, people are, listen, they're starting to suggest that some of the damage from this shutdown is going to be permanent. They're starting to suggest that billions of dollars are going to be permanently lost from this shutdown. I guess it's kind of hard to not see that, kind of hard to deny it. Who will get blamed? But the main question I want to ask, we'll talk about the shutdown, but the main question I want to ask is because this shutdown it has revealed that over 40 million Americans are on government assistance, EBT, SNAP, aka food stamps. Over 40 million Americans. Why the hell is that? World's most powerful country, some would argue the world's richest country. That's well over 10% of our population. Why would over 10% of the wealthiest country on Earth's population be getting food stamps and needing government assistance to simply eat? What the hell's going on there? Are they all not working and lazy, sitting by collecting money? What the hell is going on there? We want to talk about that. And last but not least, somewhat irrelevant, but I do want to get your opinion on this. At the age of 84, former Vice President Dick Cheney just passed away yesterday. I think everyone is aware of that. President Trump has not made a sound. Why is that? This is a vice president. This is not some local town mayor. The vice president died that was in office for 8 years. Why is that? How does that look? The president of the United States says nothing in regards to the passing of Vice President Dick Cheney. Wow. Listen, I get how politics works. People don't always agree with each other, but the guy died. The guy literally died. No say so at all. How does that work? Because obviously one day Trump will pass. I don't know. We had plenty of shows about Charlie Kirk and how people responded to him passing away. President says nothing about a vice president. Wow. What part of what part of hospitality is this? So anyway, this is your program. We'll go ahead and start looking in the comments. As always, feel free to tap that screen if you're watching on TikTok. Get the likes on up to 10,000. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Josh Hudson says he's a narcissist. Well, even an ardent narcissist could at least still offer thoughts and prayers to the family, could he not? How hard is it to get on the internet and say, he served his country, thoughts and prayers, in the Cheney's family time of loss? One sentence. How could he not say anything at all? How does that look? So continuing on the program, in the comments, Jeremy says Mamdani will make New York City unaffordable. Well, Jeremy, that's kind of the reason he got elected, is it not? They're already complaining that New York City is unaffordable. You could take Mamdani out of the picture. If Cuomo had won, or even the Republican candidate had won, people right now today would still be saying New York City is unaffordable. It's already there. There's plenty of, if you watch videos like I do about tiny homes and small apartments, there are people buying apartments in New York City that are slightly bigger than a closet or a restroom, and they're paying hundreds of dollars a month for it. It's already unaffordable. So continuing on, we'll go straight to the box. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 10,000. We can certainly make this happen if you let your thumbs not be lazy. We'll start it out with Evil, Majin, Boo. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Mamdani posed with George Soros immediately after he won. I know George Soros is the boogeyman on the right, but it is what it is. Evil Majin Boo, good evening.
Evening, man.
Hey, So what do you think, Mamdani? Is he going to be the face of the Democrat Party, as many on the right are suggesting, an open socialist, an unapologetic Muslim?
Man, it was wonderful watching the ocean coming over the United States. Man, that was wonderful. I believe Mamdani will be the face of the Democratic Party, and it also goes into I can't think of her name, but she's the Mexican lady that was speaking the other night on the news too. Oh man, I forgot.
But wait a minute. Let's tackle Mamdani since we discussed. If Mamdani, an open socialist, becomes the face of the Democrat Party, are we suggesting that the Democrats are exactly what the right often suggests they are, or that they're socialists? I mean, he is a socialist, and you're saying he's the face.
I would say to some extent, yes. But the thing is, though, we need to get those old fucks out of there, and we need to get rid of, Mitch McConnell, Akeem Jeffries, and we need to get.
Yeah, but you can get rid of the quote unquote old fucks without going to a different system. Let's say the Republicans get rid of old Mitch McConnell, as you pointed out. They're not going to put a communist in his place. I mean, do you have to put a socialist in to get rid of an old guy?
To make it look sense, probably yes, yeah.
So the Democrats are headed down the path of socialism then.
To overtake and to look and to respond with vengeance to what the Trump administration is doing, yeah.
Is that good for America, considering we've been a capitalist country our entire history? To switch to, I mean, are there successful countries that are socialist in nature that we want to pattern ourselves after?
I would say that in order to get our point across, and
you got something to chime in? You getting a call or something? God, somebody really wants to talk to you.
No. It's just my phone, so sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so in order for us to try to fight fire with fire, we have to play hardball with the Republican babies, and mostly that is Trump, his administration, that is the people that are in the actual White House and on the Congress side. We have to play hardball, and we really got to get things, to where they need to be. It has to be 50-50 down the line now.
Okay, I get the desire to play hardball with Trump. He plays hardball himself. But we're talking about socialism. Some folks are even suggesting that this guy is anti-Semite. I got folks on the right comparing him to none other than Osama bin Laden. What about the fact that he's a Muslim in a country founded on Christianity? Will that hurt the Democrat Party at all if their leader is an open Muslim?
I don't think it's going to go to that extent. Now, in his speech yesterday, remember, he reached out to women that are suffering with kids. He says, look, you won't be able to suffer that much anymore.
How is he going to stop that?
By making it to where that they don't have to, when they are by themselves, shopping like for food, catching a cab will be that less expensive. Trying to catch the bus, having the groceries while you're on the bus, it would be that less hard, of a struggle. So,
when you take into consideration that the city of New York has the largest transit system in America, it might be in the world, but I know for certain it is the largest transit system in America. Do you believe it can offer most of that for free? Maybe the subway still costs money, but the buses for free? I mean, where is that? I mean, where the hell's all that money going to come from?
Yeah, yeah, it raises a good of um yeah, like it raises a good of or like or it raises the good of the question though. But the thing is though that you got to look at it though. Look at what the previous mayors have been doing with their with their or with their ways of doing their financial work though.
Yeah, it's been
I
failing. That's
believe.
why people are complaining that New York City is too expensive, damn near unlivable. I mean, so all of those previous mayors have been failing, but Mamdani comes in there and he starts imposing taxes on the highest earners in the city. Do you feel confident they're going to stick around and just fork over that money for people that they don't know or probably even care about?
Mm, it's hard. Yeah, like I would say it's very, very hard to say though. Yeah, it is.
What happens if they leave? What happens if a significant portion of the elite in New York decide I don't want to pay these extra taxes for a bunch of people that I don't know or care about? What happens if they move simply to the suburbs? Because Mamdani's not a governor, he's a mayor. He only controls the 5 boroughs. If they decide to move outside of those 5 boroughs, what happens to the promises that Mamdani is making?
I would say there's a way to get them back though.
Give me an example. Elaborate.
So we need to tax the rich, or we need to go after the rich like hell, and we need to get them to pay their portion, and not so much taxing it's the poor, but in his message it was more of, hey, depend on me and I will get you what you really do need.
I get the desire to tax it, but how can you make them pay? Listen, there's a whole lot of Americans that want the wealthy to pay more, but the wealthy have options. They have plenty of mobility. How do you make them pay if you're only a mayor of a city?
You make them pay in certain types of the way. Now also that now remember we are also going into a new generation now too.
Mm-hmm.
See, so there's a lot of different ways for other people to it is to pay their fair it's their fair share though. So there's many ways of taxing people, and that would be either through social media side type of
You're gonna wait. You're gonna tax them through. You're gonna charge my viewers. You're one of my viewers. I always enjoy you here, Evil Supermation Boo. But you want to be taxed to talk to me? That would kill my show. You can't tax social media.
Well, well, the thing is though, like you got to look at it though. You already have to pay for a membership though. So you use part of that membership, and you got to use half of like you already got to use half of that to actually pay though, like for like everything else though. So
I don't know. There's a lot of people that damn near have to go to the library to even use the internet. I don't know. You're gonna start taxing social media. You want Mark Zuckerberg, the ultra billionaire, to be able to tax people to use Facebook?
well, not mostly taxing like not actually taxing it's the people, but like I mean you have to start taxing the wealthy people who are making the app, have them pay their share, not the actual like of or of the people though.
I like I said, I totally get the desire to tax them. I think where we're having a problem is I don't think you're understanding that these folks have a hell of a lot of fight in them. They have a lot of options to not pay those taxes, such as mobility, plenty mobility where they can move around well outside of any scope that Mamdani has. I think you're gonna have a big fight on your hands from that. But I do have to move it on. But before I do, So
Yeah.
you feel that it is a good thing for Mamdani to potentially be the face of the Democrat Party.
If he can have the right people behind him, yeah. Yeah. Not having people that are not going to be halfway into it and then, halfway out. So.
All right, fair enough. Surround himself by the best and brightest. I think we've heard that before.
right.
I think we've heard that.
Yeah.
All right, Major, I appreciate you coming on. Good to talk to you, man. Thanks for coming through. Always thank you for your support as well. Come on back anytime.
Yeah. I want to give it as a shout out. So just one more thing. Let me give a shout out to Gangsta.
Oh no!
Yeah, Gangsta Grandma. I know.
Oh
no. Now and then also, AKA King Finn, AKA King Shark.
All right, Major. All right, I'll let you get that.
Also, wait. Hold
what
on.
Is it Soul Train? How many shout outs you got?
And then last one is Intelligently, AKA Killer Mike. So
Killer Mike. I told these motherfuckers I ain't never scared. I gotta move it on. Appreciate it.
Right.
All right, moving on. Thank you. By the way, in addition to what my last guest just said, the handsome conservative said, I have switched from TikTok to YouTube and Clapper. Bring on Gangsta Grandma. The handsome conservative. A conservative is talking about bringing on Gangsta Grandma is becoming very popular. I think I've been cussed out by a few women in my life, but I've never seen one gain so much damn popularity. What am I doing? Anyway, let me go ahead and continue on with the show. I cannot believe that. The show just started a few minutes ago, and Gangsta Grandma getting more shout outs than me. I feel a tad jealous. Tap the screen, get the like. Where the hell is the likes? Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 20,000. We're taking abuse for your entertainment. You guys know, help your boy get that TikTok cap goal. I see a few of you folks are doing that. Thank you very much. Looking in the comments real quick, I want to make sure I didn't miss the super chat. Jason Holmes responds to my last caller by saying, so you want to steal money and hope they give it to a poor person that will just want more money. Wow. I'm going to break your statement in two parts. While you guys are tapping the screen and getting the likes up to 20,000, we'll take the next caller. I want to break your statement, Jason, in two parts, and thank you for your support. First, you're saying, so steal money and hope to give it to a poor person. Many folks agree with the way you phrased that, you framed that, which is taxation is theft. You see that everywhere. I'm not quite in that camp. But nevertheless, when the government takes taxes from you, you don't have an option, kind of like a thief. So he says, so you want to steal money and hope to give it to a poor person, kind of like Robin Hood, robbing the rich, giving it to the poor. But he continues on by saying, if you give money to a poor person, they will just want more money. I don't agree with the last part. I could kind of work with the taxation is theft somewhat. But I don't agree that anytime you give, you assist poor people, they're just going to want more money. Because that statement kind of revolves around the mindset that poor people don't want to work. They don't want to better themselves. They just want to live off of you. And I can't brand every poor person in that category. Yeah, there are some. There's certainly going to be some like that. There are some people who would love to live on the government dole for their entire life. I have family members like that. But I don't believe that's most people. Because when you look at what the government gives you in terms of food stamps and assistance, it ain't enough for most people to say, I'm comfortable like this, I'll just chill this way. It's pretty. Now, listen, if we were having this conversation in the 1980s when I was a kid growing up and knew people like that, yeah, maybe so. But they've made so many cuts, passed so many laws and limitations on who can get access to food stamps and welfare and how much they can get. It ain't like that no more, where people are going to be, okay, I'm cool getting a check and I'll just go month to month. You're going to be struggling pretty damn bad if you're trying to live off of welfare in many cases, unless you're just real savvy at it. But anyway, continuing on, Leslie Simp says, go to church. If you live in a hood or you live in a poor area, and your zip code features a bunch of other poor people, the church ain't going to be able to help you out that much because the church is collecting money from the people in your area. If the neighborhood is poor, they might be to help out one or two people, but if the whole damn neighborhood is poor, the church ain't gonna be to do nothing for them. All the church is doing is collecting tithes, offerings, and giving it back to somebody who needs it. They can't give it back to everybody. So the church is only going to be an option for a very select few people. And I've heard that before, depending on the church. You live in a poor neighborhood, it ain't going to happen like that. Now, it'd be different if you live in a middle class or upscale neighborhood. And let's say you're a wife and you fall on hard times, your husband dies, leaves you nothing, or he just breaks up with you and run off with some younger chick and you're broke. Okay, well, you live in a upscale neighborhood where they're able to make big contributions to the church. You may be able to go to the church and get some assistance. But if you live in an area where everybody is working for minimum wage or less than $50,000 a year, that church is only going to be able to do very little. Are we at 20,000? Tap the screen, get the lights up. And we'll continue on. The poor are not running up against the national debt. I don't get what you mean by that on Instagram. You said we are taxed to subsidize the aristocracy. I'm trying to get that word right all the time. Yeah. Listen, I don't believe our tax money should go to Argentina. I didn't believe our tax money should go to the war in Iraq. You don't get to say what your tax money goes to. I thought taxing us to give money to Argentina is theft. Some believe taxing us to help out the Ukraine is theft. You don't get a say so in it. But I will say this, the side of me that leans left, I would much rather give assistance to another struggling American than Argentina. Even if that struggling American is not doing as much as he could to get off of the dope, what happened to America first? That's what America first is. I would rather my tax money go to help out Americans first. That's what I was told. Perhaps maybe the definition of it has changed somewhat. I'll go back to the box. We'll continue on. Call down. I do want to bring her. Gangster grandma. People are calling you out. What the hell is that?
Let me tell you something, you bald-headed ass. You ever call Miss Harris abroad again, and we're going to physically fucking fight. You understand me?
Okay, wait a minute.
We're going to fucking fight.
Okay, I don't want to fight you. But with all due respect, this broad was a bad candidate.
I'll take your 300-pound fucking ass, I'll wallywop your
What?
ass. Do you understand me? Yeah, I don't call her abroad again. Cause I know your dumb ass don't call your white church ass bitches that you be fucking. I know you don't be calling their asses broad.
I'm
So
selling.
you humble your black ass and don't do this shit again.
Who said, hey, for all you know, I might be celibate. I might be a damn virgin. What are you talking about?
Hey, no, don't say that. I like my snow, but bitch ain't me. This ain't snow buddy.
What are you talking about?
Uncooked fucking processed meat. That's what the fuck they are. Uncooked processed meat. The fucking coochies look like fucking, God. And I'm a fucking bisexual, okay? And I'm not saying I see some white coochie. I shit you not. I'm straight black all day, black, everything black. No. So I don't know how the fuck you stick them. But don't you ever.
What the hell? Where is this coming? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
You don't forget. Your mama ain't white. Your mama black. And I guarantee you with your ugly black ass, I guarantee you if somebody called your mama broad, you'll be going head. I wish a bitch would call me a broad or call my mama a broad, because we'll be scrapping.
Okay, first of all, you do realize all of that shit is pink when you really look at it, right?
Not really. No. Chocolate is chocolate, honey. It melts in your mouth and shit. And it don't taste like BG Heavies. It don't taste like ugh. You know what I mean?
Okay,
They give you salmonella.
Listen.
Just by looking at their asses, they'll give you salmonella.
Listen, I've seen Melania Trump. It's not that bad, is it?
If you think that was, see, men will fuck anything. Men will fuck anything. That coochie was horrible. I tried to tell you, honey. I was like, I couldn't even take it for the team. If I really wanted to, I couldn't take it for the team.
You do realize Melania Trump is a supermodel, gangster. She was a supermodel.
She's a hoe. Okay? That bitch ain't no supermodel. Into her head, she probably is. But no, honey, that's a tacky ass, overcooked, fucking nasty, spoiled mayonnaise looking.
Listen, I'm going to just tell you, Melania Trump does not look as
You
bad
will
as you're
fuck
painting.
anything. You a fucking hole in the wall, Tim.
This is,
Let's get it right. You a fucking hole in the fucking
what the
wall.
hell does
You
it?
blow up fucking toy. Okay, bitch, I'm a 304, okay? You wish you could have this 304, bitch. You couldn't afford this coochie. Not you.
Okay.
The fucking idiot in the thing called me a 304.
Well, I haven't heard of 304 in a long. I haven't heard of 304 in a long time. But shout out to Master P. What is a 504? Never mind, 504 boys. But let me just ask you this: Mamdani, the face of the Democrat Party, is that a good thing?
Well, see, this is one thing about me is he's not gonna be the face of the Democrat Party. He's not. But you know, he what kind he fucked himself up is that see, mayors don't have that control. Like you know how mayors they only have control of New York, all right?
Right.
He can't control the rent. He can't control the buses. That's the governor. See, so he promised big shit. Maybe he could work with the governor and get it up, but he cannot do it by himself. He has no control. That's what's fucked it up. That's why I was like, damn, you know, he's really lying. He set that shit up. Like, you can't do all that. Because in the state of New Mexico, it was the governor that said that it'd be free child care for everybody. It don't matter how much money you make.
But how about this? Now, Stick the Ruler in the comments, he counters by saying it's not called the state bus, Gangsta Grandma. He said it's called the city bus. So he's indicating...
You can't do it. You can't do it without the governor. And I mean, that's being real. That's how I'm not knocking him down. You know, he's trying. He wants to help. But you really do have to go to the state. It's the governor. She controls everything. Well, if it's a woman, I don't know if it's a woman.
So the governor of New York is a woman.
He can work with the governor. I ain't gonna say that. He can work with the governor and get it lowered. But he can't just go and say, "Oh, I want this to be free." And you have to raise the taxes though, and that's on some real shit. Because in New Mexico, they raise the taxes not for the daycare, but for free buses. They raise the taxes. The daycare is because they have gas.
So what you're basically saying is Mamdani has already told lies then. He's lying to his people.
He has influence, but people got to really look that he can't do it. Like, he can't just go automatically and shut it down and say, "Oh, it's going to be free bus." He has to have the governor. But I'm not knocking him down.
You're not knocking it for like... So I'm assuming you didn't have a problem with Trump saying a few things that didn't come true either, just being fair.
The fucking damn orange orangutan bitch. The one that you be fluffing for? The one that should, I give him I'll give him.
How am I fluffing for that? I'm just... No. If you're going to say you're willing to overlook some lies from Mamdani...
I ain't willing to overlook shit that orange orangutan. You shut the fuck up. I'm not like you.
No, it sounds like you're being biased and you're just hating Trump.
I don't comprehend this, you motherfucker, you. I can't stand the motherfucker, okay? I don't give him shit of credit. I'm not like you. I don't have to go and licky, sticky shit like that. Unlike you, you call a black woman a fucking broad, but I guarantee you be cupcaking to the white woman with all that nasty ass shit between her fucking legs and every damn thing else. So don't even go there. I'm not gonna cupcake with no white.
This has nothing to do with gangster. This has nothing to do with cupcaking. This is about being fair.
Yes, it is cupcaking. You like the cupcake.
No, you are.
You don't need to like the cupcake.
This is. You are hammering Trump and forgiving Mamdani for the same thing.
Is that any new? Tim, girly pop. Is that anything new about me that I don't hammer him? He's a fucking rabbit-ass fucking dipshit of a fucking baboon. Let me tell you something. He stole you know what's the most sickening of all that bitch right there in that office? I hope Angel of Death comes. You know what I mean? I hope he does. Everyone else is unaliving. Everyone else is dying. Why can't that orange orangutan die? Hallelujah.
I'm going to pretend like you didn't say it. Wait, hold on. How the hell you going to say that about our current president and then complain when I called her no, wait a minute, wait.
You better not, Tim.
Hold on.
I'll beat your ass.
Wait a minute.
I'm in Chicago, Pookie. I will find your ugly fucking ass and I'll wally whop your ass. I'll make you lose some fucking weight.
Okay, wait a minute. You're going to suggest that you would be rejoicing when the president, or if the president passes away.
I'll go get me some Patron, man. Give me a chase. Hallelujah.
Okay, but I get how I understand you're celebrating, but what I don't understand is how are you going to say that about Trump, but then get mad when she's called a broad?
Because that's disrespectful, bitch.
You're disrespecting the damn president.
Okay? He ain't shit. He's trash.
He's our.
That's a honky trash right there. She is a black woman. That's where you came from. You came from a black woman's coochie.
What does her color got to
Okay.
do with this?
Because you called her a fucking. Call me abroad. Let's go face to face. Let's do a show together. Call me abroad. See what happens to you.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to start fights.
Call me abroad. See what the fuck happens to you. I will wax your fucking head.
Okay, I don't want you. I don't want you to.
I wish y'all would.
Listen, I am a peaceful host. I am a host
you
of
ain't no
peace.
peaceful shit. You on your knees to white man drip drip. All that drizzly cum. See, all that cum coming out your mouth drip drip.
Let me just make something clear. There were two people, and one of them are no longer with us. What does that say? One of these people lost.
That
What?
one needs to
All right then.
go bye-bye. Why didn't they just shoot the shit right? You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers had 2 chances to do the shit, and they couldn't even get the fucking right. That's how dumb these maggots are. They couldn't even pew-pew right. You feel what I'm saying? Why don't you get a thug up in there? Get us a gangster up there that we know how to pew-pew. Like we know how to aim, shoot, and fire. You feel what I'm saying? These are
Okay, I don't even want to go down that road. I don't even want to go down that road. So in other words, Mamdani lied to his people, and
I don't think he lied. I don't think he.
you just said he lied. You just said he can't do the shit he promised.
He can, but I don't think he understood how the government like that works. So he's not even a damn whatchamacallit. He's not into the politics. He should have known that a mayor can't do all that. He can have influence, but he can't just go in there and say, hey, I want to get this and this and this done. He can't do all that. He has to have the backing of the governor.
Okay, so here's what you're saying. Here is what you're saying. And by the way, folks, help your boy get that TikTok cap go. Feel free to support the program. Hold on, let me basically what you just said. What you just said is New York City has elected a man that don't know what the hell he's doing. You said he don't even understand the shit he's telling people.
He's gonna learn.
Unspoken love, thank you. You said what?
He's gonna learn.
So the mayor of New York City is on a learning curve. They voted in a man that don't know what the hell he's doing.
Voted in a man. Now, they better put his foot to the fire. They better do it. They better put his shit to the fire. Cause I'm not the one. I'm a Democrat. I'm in the middle. But I'm not. You don't pussyfoot around, though. Don't pussyfoot. Get your ass and get your shit together.
So what you
That's how making shit happen.
So what you are essentially is admitting is that New York voted in a guy that don't know what the hell he's doing. See, Osby, thank you. He don't know what he's doing.
Donald Trump. He's better than Donald Trump. They voted a fucking racist Ku Klux Klan wannabe fucking trit up in that bitch. A 34 convicted fellow, a rapist, a pedo, every damn thing else. Why can't they get him? All they gotta do is show him.
Donald Trump.
At least he ain't no pedo.
Donald Trump is securing our nation's border. Damn it, he knows what he's doing.
I can't. Okay, I can't. I hate.
What is Mamdani?
Are you like? I'm taking your fucking black card again. See, you can't even keep up your black card, can you? You did so much Clark's bleaching in his gum glazy ass because you just think he secured the border. He secured the border. No, he didn't, fool. What did he do to pass anything to secure the border? Because you know what? Let me tell you something, Tim. It's going to be the same fucking way when that motherfucker leaves in a body bag or he gets the fuck out.
Okay, first of all, just because you don't give Trump credit for securing the border don't mean he ain't doing it.
Only thing credit I'm going to give him when he leaves in the fucking body bag. Hallelujah.
He's not leaving in a body bag. He's
going to leave in a body bag. He is. Hallelujah.
You need to quit that. I'm going to simply say that compared to...
Why do I need to quit that? Why don't you quit sucking a cock? Why don't you do that? Why could you quit bluffing? Why? You got to stop your bluffing. You want me to stop? Stop y'all fucking fluffing and get you some goddamn balls. I got bigger balls than you, and I have a fucking coochie. And go up head to head with these motherfuckers. That's what's wrong with your dumb ass. You always give these motherfuckers a platform to spill all the misinformation, and then we gotta fight the shit. But guess what though? The Democrats came out last night. It is gonna be a tsunami.
But how do you respond to folks who suggest? How do you respond to folks who suggest the Democrats ain't celebrating shit? It's blue areas doing blue shit.
No, that's not what they. No, they just big mad. They just big mad. Get the rain. You know what they are? The maggots are? They're roaches for fucking rain. They're sucking on a white man and don't give two fucks about them. He just stole welfare money for. Where's the welfare money? Where's all the food stamps at?
What are you
Where they at?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Tim, I shit you not. I can't stand you. He went and he held up the food stamps. It wasn't even about the shutdown. He held up the food stamps. The judges told him to cut the shit out and collect the damn food stamps. Give the kids the food stamps, right?
Well, what he believed.
On social media, we're not gonna give it to him till the thing opens up. Then they went for the judge, and the judge told him that he better give it up because he stole the shit.
Gangsta Grandma, what Trump believes is that the Democrats are
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Pretty boy. What's your ugly fucking fake ass? I don't give food stamps, bitch. I don't get the food stamps. Okay? But I will fight for people to get food stamps because it's my goddamn taxes. See, unlike you cake for the white man and don't give two fucks about you, and they fuck you in the ass dot lube, okay?
I got viewers asking me all the time, why does everything you say have to be about race? What does this got to do with race?
Everything to do about race, bitch. Tell that. Not you a bitch. Tell that bitch that said that, he's a whole bitch. Because guess what? Let me tell you. This is about race, okay? This ain't about you, it's not, no. See, the white man don't like us, okay? They never have liked us.
What the hell?
Let's get, no. You want to hear the facts. None of the motherfuckers like us. They are racist as it is.
How is what you are saying right now not racist in itself?
It's not racist. But I'm telling you like it is. Tim, I'm not going to fluff like you. Yes, master. Get the change, master. No, they are racist.
You are grouping.
Because if they wasn't racist, why aren't they standing up and saying, no, it's fucked up?
Hold on. I got the handsome conservative right now on YouTube. Gave a super. Hold on, hang on. He's actually saying that he likes what you're doing. Damn it, calm down. He says the super chat is to make you feel better after Gangsta Grandma ripped you a new one. Why would you suggest that white people don't like us? Why would you say that? That's horrible.
Tim, are you fucking shitting me? All the shit. Tim, I'm gonna fuck you up. I swear. That's why you're single, huh? You can't even get a white bitch till you fuck you. I think that is.
Where is this coming from?
You need to go do something because you're acting like a goddamn fool. You need some coochie. You need something to get the hormones or something because it's not clicking in your fucking head. Let me tell you, when has a white man ever did shit for us? When? Tell me.
Okay.
Tell me. They hate us. They hate us because why? If they did not hate us, why are they taking books out of the damn schools? Why are they trying to erase everything about the civil rights? Why are they trying to do everything? Why are they trying to go back to the 1930s to get Mexican shit out of here? Do you know what W back was? That's racist to say. I'm not saying it. In the 1930s, the Mexicans were fighting for their rights. From the 1930s to the 1950s, they was on the streets doing it. And then when the white man decides, you know what, we don't need no Mexicans here, this was that fucking goddamn land. So in the 30s, they kicked out American citizens. Over 1 million American citizens. The Mexicans. You don't believe? Go out.
Gangsta Grandma, I'm not denying history. Hold on, hang on. I'm not denying history, but as Laser 1011 in the comments says, he says you're a nutcase. I'm simply.
I'm a fucking nutcase. Say it to my face, bitch. I'll give you a $1.50 each and every fucking 50. I'm not fucking with these motherfuckers. I cannot. I'm telling you, the white man do not like us. They don't. They're inherently the fucking racists anyways. They don't like us. If they did like us, why are they taking history out of books? Why are they doing everything to take out the civil rights thing? Huh? It's in the courts right now. If they liked us, why are they trying to come for us? Why did he say he wants to get the criminals out of here? Who is he talking about? The criminals. I know his little white ass ain't talking about the white man.
Okay, while you're saying that the white man don't like us, some would suggest that it sounds like you don't like the white man.
What did I tell you? I like them. I told you I do not like the maggots. Now, our allies, they use the white privilege for the good and they try to help us, like they did in No Kings. I'm not talking about the allies, white people.
Oh, now you want to clean it up, huh? Now you want to clean it up.
Fool. I've always told you, when I talk shit about the white people, I'm talking shit about the maggots, the triple Ks, the everything that they don't like us. The people are still rocking with him, black, brown, or whoever. you are a racist.
So
You are.
I'm going to ask you a question that inevitably comes up. When President Trump during his first term was allocating money to HBCUs, is that racist?
Tim, I
I'm
shit you not.
just a
Hey,
question.
Trey, shut the fuck up. You're riding a white man's cock on your knees, bitch. You his whole bitch. You are. You're taking it like a fucking G, aren't you? You got the lube too?
I'm just asking a question.
Tim,
Yes, ma'am.
he only gave him a couple $1,000,000. $87. $87 per kid for HBCU, okay? Only $87, okay? Then he tried to take it out, dipshit. That's how uneducated you ass is. And you were supposed to be a liberal? I can't tell. What an education system fucking failed your ass. Your mama dropped her in your head too much? Well, anyways, yeah, he took it out. Then a black senator, I forgot her name, I think she passed away, but she put it back in the goddamn bill, and then he only got, yeah. No, bitch, you special, because you're rocking for the white man. On your hands. Yes, master.
I hear you saying this, but I don't think you realize that President Trump, when he was running up against this woman that you keep talking about, his support grew. So if he's a racist, why did he do better with minorities?
You know why it grew? You know why it grew? Let's break this shit down. The ones, even some of our black folks, the dip fucks. Oh, she ain't black enough. Go fucking figure, right? Yeah, she ain't black enough. Or Paula Stein motherfuckers like, oh, so I'm never gonna vote for her because she's G-side. She's G-side. Well, guess what, bitches? Look what's happening now, bitch. Hallelujah.
I don't think it had.
I don't give a fuck now. I don't give a fuck about them no more. Because you know why? Because now you fucked us. You fucked your own damn people. You know what I mean? The far left. The white people on the far left, I can't stand their asses too. I'll be going straight to fuck ham on their asses. Because I was pro-Palestine, oh, G-side, her. Well, what the fuck's the G-side?
You sound like somebody that just has white people derangement syndrome. You obviously don't like white people.
I'm not like you. See, I don't have white people do straight. I just tell the fucking like it is. You a cupcake. You fluff. Yes, master, but they'll put you in a tree quicker than anybody else will. Do you think they like you? Do you honestly think they disrespect you? They call you the N-word.
What are you doing right now?
I'm not disrespect. I haven't disrespected you yet. I call you out I tell you because you be fluffing. See, if you would have shut the fuck up and get some fucking balls and go head to head with their asses, I would shut the fuck up. I was like, you know what? Tim grew some balls over fucking night. He's over here shutting them fucking down. But you don't, though. Well, if I was on your live, you let me be on your live, I try to be nice. I would drag him to the pits of hell being nice. You know what I mean? Because I would call their asses out. Okay. I will call their asses out.
All right, I do got to move it on, but understand, I actually.
But anybody that gave me some corn steak, because you don't ever let me say thank you. But let me tell you something, Tim. Let me tell you something. The blue wave is coming. They just think it. And they really do think, let me tell you something. They really think that this motherfucker's going to run a third term. He's stupid as hell. He ain't going to make it. I promise you, I think that.
What do you mean he ain't going to make it?
He ain't going to make it. They need to give him a couple more Big Macs. They need to, but you know what? This Troy shit says I swear to God, why don't you pull his ass up? Can he come up? Can you please?
I gotta move on. I gotta move it on. I gotta move it on. Now, you know how the show works. You know how the show works.
Yeah, you always. But stop the shit. Stop fluffing. Get off your knees. You're 6'4"? Get off your knees.
I'm 6'6". What difference does it make?
6'6". Get off your knees. Get off your knees.
Okay.
Do better.
All right, gangster grandma. Thank you. She don't make it easy, folks. Wow. She doesn't make it easy. Anyway, tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 35,000. This is a free speech program. Laser says she's going to get you banned. She don't pull punches, but we don't ask you to. This is uncensored program, and it's always been that way. Joseph Miller says racism is funny until it ain't your turn. That is true. I do agree with that. Racism is funny until it ain't your turn. So in other words, there's a saying, it ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun or something like this. Kind of that similar statement. I do agree with that. People don't, karma is a good example. People don't like karma. I'll give you, to me, what is a perfect example of that. Paul Pelosi, husband of Nancy Pelosi, and Charlie Kirk. Perfect example of that. Paul Pelosi survived, but it wasn't because the guy wasn't trying to kill him. But if you look at how it was handled, how it was ridiculed. A lot of folks that ridiculed the attempted assassination of Paul Pelosi did not like people ridiculing the actual assassination of Charlie Kirk. So there is a karma element in there. Azriel said, "Bro, what she's smoking? I believe it is the green sticky. She often suggests. She says she has a dispensary, so green sticky would be the answer to that, Azriel." Handsome Stubby Finger says Kamala Harris is coming back 2028. Also, that Democratic Party is coming back stronger and better than ever. Well, first, Handsome Stubby Fingers, and thank you for the super chat. First, we'd have to see how the Democrats perform in areas that are not very blue. Most of the elections last night, okay, well, Virginia is not very blue; it's more purple. In fact, I believe Virginia has a Republican governor right now. I think, if I'm correct. So they won it. They flipped Virginia, and I think some of the other down ballot races in Georgia also. But we'll have to see how the Democrats perform in areas that are not so blue before we can be confident in what you're saying. But even without taking that into consideration, fact is, New York City and New Jersey and Virginia got bluer. So even if you just say it's a blue area, so they're just doing what Democrats do, they got more Democratic. Just like if you look at Trump's numbers in New York, when Kamala Harris won New York, those numbers are less. More Democrats came out this time. The area got more blue. So that's the difference. I'm not for Trump, but I'm definitely a political conservative. Trump knew Jeffrey Epstein, by the way. Yeah, he knew him, but was he working in cahoots with Jeffrey Epstein? He knew him, no doubt. A whole lot of people knew him, but did he do anything nefarious with him? That's the question. Tap the screen, by the way. Get us up to 30,000. We'll take the next caller. And real quick, looking in the comments here. Like I keep saying, Trump has 3 more years. So let's see what happens. Well, Robbie Gibbs, let's just be clear. Politics doesn't work like that. Nobody gives you a chance to complete your term before they start placing judgments on you. Nobody gave Obama, Biden, or Bush the chance to finish out their term before place. I mean, you're going to listen. When Obama became president, they were immediately saying he was a socialist and going to destroy the country. They didn't wait, and got 3 more years left. Wait, no, they attacked him immediately. One of those attacking him was none other than President Trump himself. Kind of like what my viewer said, karma, no fun when the rabbit has the gun. A lot of things that Trump complains about, criticism and things like that, Trump derangement syndrome being bestowed upon him, he had no problem doing that to previous candidates. I mean, he trolled and attacked Biden's term entirely. Trump is 9-10 months into his term right now. He was all over Biden when Biden was 9-10 months into his term. And he was all over Obama when he was 9-10 months into his term. So, they say what goes around comes around. By the way, we are also on X, the handsome lib. Feel free to follow that if you use X. We're currently on X as well. I'm still learning the ropes on X. So, but if you are an X, formerly known as Twitter user, feel free to show your boys some support and follow us there as well. Currently, we're live on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you're watching, give us a follow on any of those platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays. We at 30. Tap the screen, get us up to 30. Truth is, we may very well be under martial law and have no elections in 2028. If that is the case, then 2026 better count for a lot. Because if the Democrats are victorious in the midterms in 2026, then they have a lot of pushback to what Trump can do if we're under martial law in 2028. So you want to make sure you leave a really good stand in 2026 so that if there is some kind of stunt pulled in 2028, you'll be ready for it. But I'll just tell you this. I don't think it's going to get that far. And I'll tell you why. And I don't agree with Gangsta Grandma suggesting that the guy may pass away due to health issues. But real quick, before we go to that, what I'm going to tell you about that, Handsome Stubby Finger says Trump is not. He says the same thing Gangsta Grandma says. He says Trump is not going to make it 3 years. Watching him shit himself. LOL. Also, Gangsta Grandma was right. Look at what they're doing to JD Vance's wife. I don't know if Erica Kirk has got the hots for JD Vance or not. We'll talk about that briefly, but before I do, what I was going to say about the whole martial law in 2028 issue is, let's just be clear. If the Democrats are successful in 2026, let's say they win Congress and the Senate, they're going to impeach Trump immediately. They're going to impeach him immediately. The remainder of his term from 2026 to 2028 will be nothing but congressional testimonies and things like that. They're going to impeach him immediately. There is a myriad, for lack of a better term, of things that you could come up with. The boats being bombed in Venezuela, we don't know who's on them. I'm assuming that there's been all kinds of violations in regards to immigration. They're going to impeach him immediately. So we don't know what'll come out, but I mean, my guess is the jet from Qatar, there's going to be, they're going to be demanding people testify before Congress about how that went down. We had a general in the Venezuelan theater that resigned because he didn't like the boats being blown up. That general is going to be called before Congress to testify. So it'll be nothing but court cases and hearings if President Trump loses the midterms in 2026. And there's a host of other things. President Trump has his own crypto. They're going to want to know what money is coming and going now that he just pardoned the Binance founder and claimed he didn't know the guy when the guy has a $2 billion investment deal between him and his family. All that's going to come up. So President Trump needs to win the midterms. Damn the martial law in 2028. You won't get there if he doesn't win the midterms. They're going to impeach him immediately. I'm just simply telling you that. You can count on that. You think the witch hunt or whatever you want to call it in his last term was bad? Oh my God, he's done a lot more this time. So expect a whole lot of court cases to be taking place. Are we at 30? Yes, we are. We'll go straight to the box. Jerry Galipsky, thank you for sharing the live, folks. Feel free to do that. I don't normally ask that, but share the live, if you will. Going back to the box, James Harper, good evening. Welcome to the program. Am I getting it wrong? Do you think that Trump would face impeachments if he loses in the midterms?
Oh, he definitely will.
Yeah. Do you think it's a witch hunt, or do you think
it's not just him? It's not just him.
True,
His whole cabinet's going to be facing impeachment because all of them have done stuff that's against the law.
What do you mean? Give me some examples of who you speculate that has broke the law.
Pete Hegseth, he's broken OPSEC. It's too many times. The first offense would have been enough to get him thrown off of the cabinet.
You mean like the Signal app?
Signal chat. The fact that he's been trying to control who has access to the Pentagon through the press pass.
Yeah.
And things like that. And the fact that he's been targeting groups in the military to get them out of there because they don't match the look that he wants.
Yeah, I've heard that if you have razor bumps, they want to put you out of the military.
Exactly, and that's a medical issue.
Yeah. So Hegseth, I mean, any others? I mean, my guess is Tom Homan, the borders.
Tom Homan.
Christy Nome.
The Attorney General. I keep forgetting her damn name.
Pam Bondi?
Pam Bondi. She definitely gone.
Mm. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know how it would turn out, but there will be a lot of impeaching if President Trump loses the midterms. The Democrats are going to get in there and do it immediately. So do you think it'll be a free and fair election come next November?
What's going to end up happening is the same thing he does every time the elections start coming up. He's going to start swearing up and down. It's
fraudulent.
Election interference. His election interference is fraudulent. The election is rigged. And then when the results come in, he's going to try and tell them not to certify any of those results. And it's going to be a issue.
Wow. Now, one of my members, Moran, said, Patriot Level, thank you, Moran, says both parties can go to hell. Says the government shutdown proves they are both asses at leading. We need a new party focused on the future, not the past. Do you blame the shutdown on both parties, like Moran is saying?
No, I can't say both parties. Like I say, when the Democrats had when they were in charge, they didn't do it. They didn't do their job. They sat there and focused on like trying to do bipartisanship. But these guys, they don't want bipartisanship. They just want to do everything their way. Like that's why they keep saying like, oh, if you open up the government, we'll try to work with the stuff that you want. The second you open up the government, it's gonna go right back to status quo, and they'll definitely try to make sure like it really doesn't happen.
So Trump is saying that he would sit down and talk with the Democrats if they open up the government again. You're saying you don't believe Trump is going to do that. You don't believe it. You believe he's lying.
Trump also said that he can get Mexico to pay for the wall. He can end wars in 24 hours. He says a lot of things that people like think that they like to hear, and never comes in on none of it.
Wow. So speaking of people saying things that may or may not come true, how do you feel about Mamdani winning in New York, promising that he's going to make buses free and have rent controls and free daycare for the citizens of New York? Is
he's going to get a serious amount of pushback. Corporations are not going to want to do that because he's going to hold them accountable for like the money that they've not been paying in taxes and subsidies and things like that.
So is he lying?
I don't think he's lying, but like he's going to try. I'm not going to say he's going to succeed, but he's going to try. That's the difference between like his promises and Trump's promises. He's actually going to try to fulfill his promises. Trump only says things that he knew his base would love to hear.
Well, I mean, some would argue that Trump did try to meet some of his promises. I mean, the Democrats pushed back. I mean, he clearly was involved in the war between you. Wait, hold on.
You know damn well that's a lie.
Hold on. He said he did try to end the wars in Ukraine. He tried to end the war in Gaza. I mean, he did make an effort.
His idea of ending the war in Ukraine was telling Ukraine, hey, placate Russia and let them keep the land that they already annexed. That's not the end of the deal. All he basically told them was, look, just give up and let them win.
Well, he believed that they were ultimately going to lose their entire country. So listen, if you just give them what they've had so far, you can go back to peace.
When has that ever stopped? When has that ever stopped an aggression? If you sat there and placated the aggressor, like, yeah, we'll see that you can go ahead and keep what you already took. What do you think the first thing they're going to do is? They're going to keep going because they already know you're not going to push back.
Yeah, but Trump's claim is this stuff would never have happened if he was in office. So, okay, you give Russia what they have now. And under Trump, according to him, Russia
swears everything bad is not going to happen when he was in office. But you know daggone well that's not the case. His thing is everything good was my doing. Everything bad was somebody else's fault.
Well, the man says he ended 8 wars, though.
He says he ended 8 wars, and every one of those countries that he said he ended those wars, and they all said saying he had nothing to do with anything. Half of them said they didn't even talk to him.
Well, I did see some folks actually saying thank you, Trump, in regards to the Gaza, the ceasefire in Gaza. From what I can tell, it may have started up again, but I mean, there is less killing in that area now.
Tim, that ceasefire was a political stunt. We both know that Israel was not going to stop that, and especially looking at now how like a lot of Americans are starting to push back against support for Israel over the things that they're doing and all this. They really got to ramp it up in order to get it done because they already know within like 2-3 years the relationship they have with America is not going to be the same.
I don't know, it depends on who's in office. I mean, if J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio follows Trump, you're telling me the relationship would be weaker under one of them?
You and I both know neither one of them will make president unless Trump dies. And then Marco Rubio ain't going to do it unless Vance dies after Trump.
Wait a minute. You're telling me you're telling me that if Trump completes his term and leaves in 2028 and we have an election, there's no way that Marco Rubio, huh?
If he lives to 2028, he won't leave. You know he won't.
So you're expecting a dictator?
Yes. You think Trump is going to give up that kind of power? Not to mention that if he leaves in 2028, guess what? He's vulnerable to get to all the actions that he did before.
Well, can he pardon himself on the way out?
That's the thing. Nobody knows because no president has ever needed to pardon themselves.
And he's already been given immunity. I don't know, James. I think Trump is going to be okay.
The second they impeach him, all his immunity is gone.
I don't know how to, well, listen, the Supreme Court ruled that he has immunity in regards to what he's doing in conjunction with the United States. So stuff like blowing up boats off the coast of Venezuela and things like that, I believe he would get immunity for that. We'll find out because they're going to impeach him. I agree with that, but I believe he would get immunity for that.
Speaking of like Venezuela and Nigeria and all of that, he was doing all that because he's trying to distract from the problems that he's unwilling to solve. He knows that MAGA is a bunch of culture warriors, and all you got to do is just bring up a culture issue, and that's going to get his approval back up with them.
MAGA is a bunch of culture warriors. Wow. You think it's that easy, huh?
Look at how they support him when he does stupid things. Like Venezuela, he wasn't getting as much support because he tried to use drugs as a reason for doing that. Now he's going after Nigeria because, Christians are in trouble.
Yeah, but if he is indeed halting the supply of fentanyl to this nation, is that not an accomplishment?
Okay, if he's holding the supply of fentanyl, why is the source of the fentanyl keep changing? First it was Mexico, then it was Canada, then it was China, now it's Venezuela.
You ain't making this easy. Well, let me just say it this way. Perhaps because all of those nations are supplying America with fentanyl.
If all of those nations were supplying us with fentanyl, there'd be a shit ton more overdoses than they are now.
Well, shit. Do we really? I mean, from what I hear, there are a lot of people that overdose. I mean, it doesn't matter how much fentanyl is being flooded into the country. You still got to take this shit. So, I mean, if you want fentanyl, apparently you can find it. So it's plenty of it here, but you got to want to use it.
You're right. You got to want to use it, but come on, Tim. It's an epidemic out there, but it's not. They're over exaggerating the epidemic.
Well,
that's just a new thing that he can use as a shiny object to distract you from the problems that's going on. Say, hey, look, I'm trying to solve this issue, but I'm not fixing like the other issues like healthcare and all of that stuff.
Well, how do you respond to, like some of my viewers stated, the guy has only been in office. Appreciate that TikTok cap there, giant robot. Thank you very much. Supporting the program. How do you respond to folks who suggest, listen, the guy has only been in office like 9 or 10 months. That man has done a lot in a short period of time. He talks to the media every other day. I mean, he's busier than Biden could have dreamed of.
He's done more damage in 9 months than most presidents done in their own terms. Like when he's done more harm to the U.S. country than what happened right after the market crashing after 9/11.
Jeez, how much damage are you suggesting? The guy has gotten NATO member states to pay their fair share in defense spending. He's gotten the border under control. He's imposing tariffs on countries to make sure we have a fair trade imbalance.
Those fair trade deals are not working because if you look at most of the deals he swears up and down he's made, they basically like was the original deal. The only thing is instead of it being a different president's name on it, is his name on it.
Yeah, but they're promising to bring back jobs in manufacturing at the behest of Trump. Is that not a good thing?
They haven't even moved on it, Tim.
He's only been in office for 9 months. You got to give him a little bit of time.
And Tim, we already had a bunch of those jobs that was actually starting. Like we had the CHIPS Act in the what was it? The American Rescue Plan that was actually putting in factories and things like that in rural areas, and Trump went and shut all that down.
Well, I mean, but you've had several CEOs make some pretty big commitments. I mean, I think Toyota made a commitment recently.
Those commitments were for favors.
Well,
because every time a Republican's in office, what's the first thing they do? Oh, we got to give tax cuts to the wealthy. Oh, if we do that, it's gonna help the economy. And every time all the rich people do is they buy back their own stocks and they give themselves bonuses and don't do nothing for the lower class.
Well, how do you respond to folks who might suggest that it's not wrong to give a tax cut to wealthy because I've never received a job from a poor man. If you give tax cuts to the wealthy, it'll encourage them to, to open up manufacturing, to expand.
And that's why we have the issues that we have now, where people can't afford housing and things like that because we keep giving the rich money and letting the poor people starve.
So what are you suggesting? Take from the rich, like what Mamdani is saying, take from the rich and give to the poor?
Make them pay their fair shares. Get rid of corporate subsidies.
That's kind of exactly what we're saying. You're taking from the rich. You just calling it something different.
No. The subsidies are. They don't need the subsidies. If they actually look strictly off the profit that they get, and instead of getting like supplemented for not really help for what are they getting supplemented for?
Yeah, but do you believe that they will go for that? I mean, like I mentioned with one of my other callers, wealthy folks have a lot of mobility. They can leave the area, they can leave the country, they can hide their money and show. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to avoid this stuff.
They can do all that because we don't enforce laws against them.
So it sounds like you kind of want to have a war on the rich.
It's not a war on the rich, but if you actually have them pay their fair share and we actually use the tax money like we're supposed to and not sit there and give all these handouts to the rich who don't need them, then we wouldn't have these problems because the tax money was meant to do things like in case of natural disaster, that's FEMA. And in case of there's people that can't actually have an affordable wage, we use that. We should have used that on education to make sure that we can train people to actually get the skills for these better jobs.
Yeah, but
the problem is,
go ahead.
The problem is a lot of these people that are rich, they come from it's old money. Their family was rich and they just inherited with it the money that they were given, and they do deals with each other.
I don't disagree with that, but I think running a government like that is probably going to really upset the wealthy and have them shaking in their boots for somebody like Mamdani.
They're shaking in their boots because they realize, hey, the stuff that we were getting over on is not going to work anymore.
Do you favor socialism? I mean, he's came out and admitted he's a socialist. Do you favor that?
Socialist programs are what we actually use. How do you think we pay for police, the fire department, hospitals? Those are all socialist programs.
Yeah, but is he not talking about having government stores? And I mean, he sounds like really, really big government on steroids.
Okay, if we have government stores and the profits from that store goes back into the economy, like basically like funding those programs that he's talking about, that's not a bad thing as long as the people aren't getting ripped off for it.
Yeah, but if you own your own small corner store or business, how the hell can you compete with a government business? They're going to get all kinds of protections that you as a small business owner would never get.
What protection do you think that a government store will have that? Because the protection that you're talking about, what? Like making sure what they can't.
I mean, any cat. You imagine what happens to people who have debts with the government. You can file bankruptcy and get away from most civilians and businesses. If you owe the government, they usually don't let you bankrupt out of it. That's a protection where all of your clients have to pay you because you're government. I mean, I'm assuming law enforcement, shoplifting, all of that's going to be treated significantly stricter for a government business versus some mom and pop business. I mean, you can't compete as a mom and pop going against the government.
If you're actually like making sure that the middle and lower class are actually being taken care of, a lot of the crime will actually go down.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I guess there's really no model in this country to use as an example, though. So
that's because we've allowed the rich and the corporations to fund our leaders. They put money in them, and they told them, hey, as long as you don't vote against my interests, you'll constantly have money in your pocket.
That is indeed the American way, James. I got to move it on, but a lot of folks agree with you. There's a reason why the guy won so handily in New York. So your thought process is not alone. I'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
They agree because they're tired of the trickle-down system that never worked. All you hear from the conservative side is, oh, just trust the rich. We look out for them, they're going to look out for us, and it never happens.
I tend to agree. Appreciate it, James. Thank you. All right, moving on with the program. By the way, folks, tap the screen. Wow, a lot of lazy ass thumbs in here. We should be at least 50. Wow. Yes, it would decrease crime, says Unspoken Love. Yeah, one of my viewers on YouTube, on Instagram, said the same thing. Like, why commit crimes when you have? Well, greed. Listen, if you have a socialist environment, it ain't like the people who are going to be filthy rich. They'll have enough to meet their needs. And thank you for the TikTok cap alter ego. Appreciate that. You guys have helped me get pretty damn close to the TikTok cap goal. Thank you very much, Jackson. Yeah. Thank you for the head mustache. Even in a socialist environment, I gotta assume I gotta disagree with you folks that it would well, maybe not. It wouldn't lower crime, but there's still a lot of greed there. Mike, JPT Farms, shout out to you. Yeah, Deborah, you guys are coming through for your boy. So we'll go back to the box, and I don't know. I'd be curious to see. But there's a lot of Americans in this country that favor socialism now on the left. Hang on one second, Mike. Yes, Stubby. Yes, Trump is going to be obliterated from the inside out in 9 months. Trump is not going to make it, or the super cancer of the Republican Party. Mike, do you see this guy not being around physically? Do you see Trump not being around biologically? People are saying this guy ain't gonna do 3 more years.
Yeah, well, listen. I mean, look, there's no day guaranteed, and the older you get, the more likely it is that some shit can happen. Right? That's just some real shit. Now, if you're still eating McDonald's every day and not running and farting and shitting on yourself, that makes it a lot more likely that you probably
running and farting. But he does have the best medical facilities in the country. I mean, he can call and see a doctor at 3 a.m.
Listen, if you have heart failure, that shit don't matter. You only got one of them. So if he is,
Dick Cheney just died yesterday, and he had a heart transplant. Shit, how long ago? His first heart transplant. If you were there, you'd be grown by now. So he did okay with only one heart. He got a new one.
Yeah. He did. 100%. There's no pushback. But do you think Dick Cheney was eating the way Donald Trump eats?
I don't know, but he wasn't. He probably wasn't. He probably wasn't moving as much as Donald Trump either, though. Trump is traveling the world.
Man, Trump, listen. Stop giving this motherfucker credit for standing up. You give this. Listen, this is crazy to me. You and this. Oh man, he's up. He's working his ass off. You see him more than you see. So fucking what?
Wait a minute. You do realize Donald Trump can walk down the stairs of an aircraft better than Biden. He ain't falling all over.
He hasn't fallen. He hasn't stumbled. He hasn't tripped. You ain't seen that at all?
Not as much as Biden was doing it.
Well, shit. So wait a minute. So were we seeing Biden or weren't we, Tim? Goddamn. If we weren't seeing Biden, then how are we seeing him so many times to watch him fall?
So that means So that means, considering we were seeing Biden a lot less than Trump, that means Biden probably was falling down even more.
Is this where you really want to go today? I know you got your red tie on. I know you got your blue shirt on. I know you look like I understand. Is this where you want to go today?
I'm just asking him. Before we continue, Moran says Trump's stupid ICE policies cost us the battery plant. When they rounded up South Koreans who were here training American workers, Trump is an ass. I heard they were bringing that plant back. I thought they were going to bring that back.
Maybe they are.
Yeah, but he is right. 400 and some odd. That was the Hyundai plant in Georgia, was it not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. You've been talking about the election results last night?
Yeah. Mamdani, the face of the Democrat Party, is that a good thing?
Yeah, why not?
Socialist, Muslim?
Well, it's not good for the Republicans because they don't want that, right? I mean, they've been demonizing the man from the beginning, and he won last night, and they were threatening his family last night. It's just, but that's to be expected, right?
Yeah.
That's to be expected. I mean, they don't care about Muslims. In his first term, the first thing he did was issue a Muslim ban, right? So we know how he feels.
Yeah. Well, they are also suggesting that Mamdani is an anti-Semite.
Well, of course they are. But I would argue they're projecting again.
Here's something that I saw people on the right making this comparison to Mamdani, comparing them to Bin Laden. I think which is going, yeah, it's going insane. But can you? I mean, did you think New York ever thought after what happened on September 11th that they would have a Muslim mayor?
Well, you know what, Tim? I don't know what racist white America thought. I know that they don't want a Muslim mayor.
True.
I know what they don't. I know what they don't want, and I know that they're willing to do whatever to ensure. But the people spoke last night. I mean, they had 2 million people vote, which was the most people to vote in a mayor election in New York since 1969.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Right. So the people resoundingly said, "This is what we want." Right.
Well, let me ask you, like what I asked my last caller. Do you think he could actually measure up to some of the shit he's promising, or is he going to be like Trump? I can end the war in 24 hours.
I don't know. I mean, I think that he'll try. Now, whether he's successful or not.
Trump tried.
Say again.
Trump tried. Are we giving out participation trophies?
Trump. Well, the funny part that you say that, are we? You know what? Last night, you know what I've heard since last night? I was on live last night, been live on day, listening to Trump supporters come up with every reason and every excuse for Mamdani, as if, and everything they say is a confession to what they accept or what they don't like.
Elaborate.
Like
what do you mean?
Well, here's what I mean. He's Muslim.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Everything that they're trying to push back about this guy is the very shit that they're doing. Right? Everything.
What do you mean by, okay, he's Muslim, we know that. What do you mean by is comparing?
Well, he's a socialist. He's going to ruin New York City. This is the last days in New York City. Greg Abbott's talking about people that move from New York to Texas. I'm going to give 1,000.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it's like, what has this young man, first of all, let's be clear. This man hasn't served before like Trump served before. So we could point to Trump's first administration in rhetoric and kind of get an idea of who he is and what he's going to do and how much he's going to lie to the American people. Do you think last night, out of all those people that voted, how many Republicans do you think went and voted for the other side last night or stayed home in general?
Probably a lot, because they didn't have much of an option. They knew they were going to, I mean, you know you're going to lose anyway. So you don't want Mamdani. You don't even favor Cuomo. They may have voted for Cuomo just out of spite because the Trump administration told them, don't vote for the Republican candidate. We need you to vote for Cuomo. But it turns out Mamdani got more votes than Cuomo and the Republican candidate combined. So even if you took all of the votes that Republican candidate got and gave them to Cuomo, he still would have lost.
Yes, I mean it wasn't even close, but so let me ask it differently, or let me just make a statement. Last night, in my opinion, and you can answer this, I believe in Virginia, New Jersey, New York, California, I believe that there was a considerable amount of Republican voters that either stayed home or voted the other way. I do.
Voted against Trump.
Yep. Again, I told you, Tim.
Here's how let me break them apart. Okay. First of all, I don't believe there's any Republicans in New York that voted for Mamdani. So I disagree with. The mayor, better yet, the governor of New Jersey and certainly the governor of Virginia. I could see it maybe happening with the governor of Virginia. I mean, because I don't think anybody liked that other chick. She was the black-headed stepchild in Virginia. So I can definitely see it in Virginia. But I don't believe many Republicans in California voted for Prop 50. You think that Republicans would support that, giving the Democrats their ability to gerrymander?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I believe that there are a lot of people that are regretting their fucking vote right now. I believe a lot of people are getting these letters. They're really looking at, you can fearmonger until people go do a little research. And I told you this 2 months ago. People are going to have to make a decision. Do you love Trump more than you love your health care? Do you love this party more than you love some of these benefits that you have that you're going to lose that can change your life? And the answer is, do I want my health care or what do I want more? Enrique out of the country or my health care? Because that's the position that they put you in.
Yeah, fucking with people's health care is, and I mean, and they're fucking with it really, really bad. I mean, I'm hearing some of these stories about premium increases that is nothing short of draconian. I mean, people's shit is increasing by 3 and 4 multiples. So
Yes.
yeah, that's bad.
And that's my point, Tim. Did you see the exit poll last night?
No.
Were you looking at any of the exit polls?
No.
When they were asking people in those states what
what their biggest concerns was, I did see that. I did see that. Well, economy too.
And what was at the bottom, Tim?
Crime.
Things at the bottom.
Crime and immigration.
Yeah, you goddamn right.
Yeah.
So it proved my point. It's like people are like, yeah, fuck that. Let Enrique stay over there. I just need to make sure I still have my hospital and my benefits. And I told you this. I told you when people start really getting down to their pocketbooks, they will take a different approach. They will literally go, it's not really that important to me. I got caught up. That's just not that important. Please don't have me pay threefold for my health insurance. And if that means Enrique can stay, let Enrique stay.
Yeah.
And
I don't disagree with that, because you are right. I've said that on many lives, is that I don't believe, even though Biden let in a lot of people that folks did not want here, they were unvetted and things like that, I don't believe most Americans are greatly affected at all about all the immigrants coming here. They're not taking the jobs that you want. It hasn't lowered your salary. So yeah, if you're going to talk about raising my healthcare premiums up by multiples, that's going to affect me significantly more, as you say, than Enrique being able to stay. So and the same thing with crime, because they painted the immigrants to be bad hombres. They're all like the guy who took out Lincoln Riley, or they're all like Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I think most folks, even the ones that want these folks out of the country, probably realize they're not as violent as we've been, because you would have more crime. I mean, the jails would be loaded with illegal immigrants if they were that bad. So I agree with the Enrique example you gave. I do agree with that.
Well, and the sad part is, just like it was 400 years ago, 200 years ago, people will sit by and watch this country commit atrocities to people. That's the sad part. Because the same people that we're talking about would rather have their health care, and they would rather have, and they would allow Enrique to stay, and I'm using that for the analogy. They were willing to sit by and watch it happen to him as long as they weren't impacted.
Yeah. And that is indeed the conundrum for the Trump administration.
I'll use another name. No, somebody in the comments said his name is just Enrique. My bad.
Well, I had 3 years of Spanish, and my name was Fernando. So you can say Fernando. I still answered it at some time.
We can even use Miguel.
Miguel.
I'll get off here.
Well, Jose or Jesus is the ones they often use. But I mean, yeah, fact is, I think a lot of that's the problem, or the conundrum that the Trump administration is faced with, is how can we do what we want to do without hurting so many of our own supporters? Because our supporters are okay with what we're doing, no matter how controversial it is, as long as it don't happen to them. So how can we continue doing this while shielding our supporters? And that's where their problem is.
Well, but here's the thing, though, Tim. I sort of agree with you, but I'm gonna stick with my original stance. They don't give a fuck about them. They really fucking don't, Tim. They don't give a fuck about their supporters. They got what they wanted. They won the election. They're insulating themselves. They don't give a fuck about you.
I don't believe that. I tell you why I don't believe. I believe, but I believe it if I break it down. I believe partially what you're saying is true. I believe that may apply more to Trump and his immediate White House administration. But Republicans in Senate and the Congress that expect to serve multiple terms and maybe ride off into the sunset and be in politics until they retire, they don't feel that way. Trump doesn't have to run again. So Trump is not as concerned. Like, Trump is promoting the nuclear option. What do they call it? Ending the filibuster. He doesn't have to run again. It's not going to hurt him in the future. But, Mike Johnson and Senator, what is Thorne or Thune or whatever his name, them folks realize this shit is going to come back and destroy us in the future. Trump won't be around anymore. So Trump is asking us to do something that's going to hurt us in the future that he doesn't have to worry about hurting him at all.
And what do you think they're going to do? Exactly, Tim. You did all that fucking talking. Tell me one thing the Republican Party has done in Congress or Senate to oppose Trump up to this point.
Well, they are not doing it. I'll defend the Republican Party by saying Trump has stated already he wants to end the filibuster and use the nuclear option, and they are pushing back. This is one time when they clearly are not doing it. They're pushing back. There's your answer.
Do you think they're going to concede? They always do, Tim. Listen, when I tell you, I'm not saying this lightly. If they cared about their constituents, when the big, beautiful bill was announced and economists said it was going to hurt their people and everybody was up in arms and they were having all the town halls and they were getting eviscerated in their town halls, did they go back and push back on Trump and do anything?
No, but here's a difference with this nuclear option shit. If you go against Trump, everybody from him and Elon Musk threatening to primary you and threatening to get you out of office, is going to call you a rhino and embarrass you. You're going to get death threats. So that's why people are hesitant on the right to go against Trump. However, if you follow his order with this nuclear option, you're gone anyway. So this is the first time that Trump is asking them to do something that is going to get them just as dead politically as going against them. That's why they're not doing it. So, because look, I don't want to go against his big, beautiful bill or some of this other stuff because I'm going to get, I'm going to piss off my MAGA supporters and all. But in this case, if you actually give him the nuclear option, you're gone anyway because the Democrats are going to come in there next time and basically make you useless. So they're not going to cave on this. I don't know about that. I don't think they're going to cave like that.
But here's my problem with this conversation. Donald Trump, every Republican in the House and Senate have had 12 years to present a health care plan and put it on the table, and they've done nothing.
But he does have concepts, though.
The fuck them concepts, because people are. Well, think about it, Tim. And this is a part of the conversation when people get into it's the Democratic fault for the shutdown. No, you motherfuckers that supported Trump through all the bullshit and voted for him again did not demand him to show you the replacement for the healthcare plan that he's trying to torpedo. Not once.
Yeah, but Mike, they were faced with either voting for Trump or a woman that says she would do nothing different than Biden, who they were totally unhappy with. What the hell were they supposed to do?
Vote for her because the one thing that they were going to have?
Men in girls' bathrooms?
Maybe that, but they would have, and they would have their health care. And I'm going to say this again: if you ask them same people, do you want this 3 times raise in your premium, or are you okay with not worrying about bathrooms? They're not going to worry about fucking bathrooms, Tim. Everything they stood on was bullshit, and we knew it. Now, if Donald Trump is saying the ACA is terrible, and listen, I'm not going to argue about how good or poor the healthcare plan is. I'm saying if you're taking that position and it's not that hard, he's had 12 to 14 years to come up with something. Everyone that voted for him, their representatives in Congress and in Senate, they didn't demand them to make that a priority.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of the fact, and that is a fact that Trump has had years since coming down the golden escalator in 2015 to come up with a health care. Because he came on the scene talking about repeal and replace Obamacare. So if you've been talking about this since 2015, you're right. You should have a plan. But the question I want to ask is, have you seen Marjorie Taylor Greene recently? She's been on Bill Maher, and she was on The View yesterday. She's really saying exactly what you're saying. Is like, this guy ain't produced no healthcare plan. She's also really openly criticizing Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, for the same reason. Like, you guys are talking about getting rid of Obamacare, increasing people's healthcare premiums, as you're rightfully pointing out, and you're offering nothing as a counter. Have you seen her? She's been all over the media, and she's sounding almost leftist.
Well, again, I don't like her, but maybe
you got to listen to her.
She is well, here's the thing. All she's going to say is what we've been talking about for years. It's like you finally got one eye open. You finally blink.
I mean,
listen, Tim. I've said this, and I'll say it again. I'm going to slow down a little bit. There's nothing that we're talking about that has not been on the table. There is nothing new Donald Trump has still not put an immigration bill on the table. The only piece of legislation that he's passed is the big, beautiful bill, and you're about to feel the results of that. They have put nothing else forward for Congress and the Senate to vote on. Nothing. However, you've got everything you need to do it. You had 4 years when Biden was in office. Y'all sure got that Project 2025 900-page doc completed, didn't they?
You know something? I think that if there's one thing that may come out of this that the liberals may favor, is that what Trump is doing to healthcare may encourage more people, even some on the right, definitely independents, to support some sort of universal healthcare going forward. Because he is now doing it to the point where, because a lot of people on the right in Bible Belt, they don't have insurance any damn way. But what he is doing is now he is affecting middle class and more educated people that do have health care that lean right. He's hurting them too. So I do believe that is one thing that may come out of this, is that you may have a lot more people in this country that are now saying that universal health care sounds like a good idea, because he's making it so people are not going to be insured at all.
You damn right. Well, and first of all, I agree with you 100%, because we're just getting started on this pain. I mean, this pain is not short-lived, Tim. This is the beginning. Because here's the thing. Now Trump, like you just said, he's trying to urge them. Because, see, here's the thing that Trump does that most people don't normally do. They don't normally take 180s as quickly as he does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's fast. He like for instance, the Canadian trade deal. I didn't like the TV commercial, so I'm not going there tomorrow. Yeah, he's a 180. He's real quick on the 180.
But he doesn't have to face the constituents, and they're not going to. Do you realize some people in his administration are actually living on military bases right now?
Yeah, I heard that. Like Marco Rubio and something. Yeah, I heard that. How the hell does that work?
Because they pussies. They scared. Listen, they created this monster. Now they're afraid of the monster. And I told you this 2 weeks ago. I said, when this shit starts to unravel, the very monster they created on January 6th is going to be the very monster they're going to have to protect themselves from, and they know it.
Well, in their defense, I will bring up Paul Pelosi, Melissa Hortman. I mean, I guess Charlie Kirk, he's not a politician, but I will bring up there's a lot of political violence in this country. So it does make sense. And of course, as you're rightfully pointing out, Trump is doing a lot of things that are unpopular, even to people on the right. So, yeah, I'm sure they're getting death threats. I'm sure that Rubio and all of them are getting them.
With all those examples you just gave us, all of that violence, all of that rhetoric was created by them. This is my whole point. When you go create Frankenstein and he gets up off the table, you don't know where he's going to go. Yeah. And that's what they've done, Tim. We've been talking about this for a couple of years.
Well, they're going to suggest the guy that took out Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, was created by the far left.
Of course they are. They're going to, of course. What else are they going to say? I'm not even surprised by what they say or what they try to do. That's not the surprise. What I'm watching is how people are starting to discern exactly what's real and what's bullshit now. But I told you.
I don't know. You think that listen, I know there's a few MAGA that are unhappy with the increase in healthcare or whatever, but I mean, overall, you really think that there's that many Trump supporters that are unhappy with their vote and wish they had done something else in 2024?
I do. And I'm gonna tell you this: the margins of victory in those elections last night, not just the victories, but the margins. New York elected a Muslim mayor in this climate we're in right now.
Yeah.
Virginia elected a Muslim lieutenant governor.
Yeah, that guy was actually talking. That guy was a bad candidate. He even talked about political violence, and
you're talking about the attorney general.
Yeah, that guy was a bad. Yeah, him. That's what I'm talking about. He was a bad candidate, and he still won.
And he still. Listen. Follow the tea leaves. You got to listen to the tea leaves. What we're seeing right now, and I think it's going to get worse. I don't think you're going to get the only way that MAGA can respond without admitting they were wrong is to sit at home and just let it happen.
What about the government shutdown? Who the hell's at fault for that? They're suggesting that the Democrats, all you need is a handful of them. They won't even come on over to the right, who continues to vote to open the government back up. and help out poor struggling Americans with SNAP and EBT, but the Democrats keep voting against it.
Again, why? You've said it before, but I'm going to answer it, and I know you're asking me as a guest. Why would they trust that they're going to that he's going to keep his word about sitting down with anybody? When Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries went to him, when they had that meeting scheduled, he canceled the meeting. They tried to schedule it again. He canceled the meeting. So this isn't about the Democrats, but of course he's going to blame the Democrats. Just like that bullshit 60-minute interview he did. That was, guess what it was, Tim? Guess what that interview was, Tim?
That was him venting. That was just a chance for him to vent.
No, but guess what it was? The irony of these motherfuckers. It was edited.
Yeah, that's exactly what he sued them with on Kamala Harris. I kind of wonder if they have any recourse in the future once they get a friendlier government in place to try to undo that. I don't know, because I mean, he sued other law firms and things like that to defend Hillary Clinton. A lot of people have been unfairly sued and just had to settle. Disney's another one. I don't know if he will have any recourse on that, if they will have any recourse on that. But yeah, some of them folks settled with the Trump administration because they didn't really have any other option. But he sued people and received payment, where if he had went to court, he would have lost.
He would have, but he did. But he did exactly. They edited his interview just like they did Kamala's. But he's one. This is the mediocrity I was telling you about. Somebody like Trump can't win without cheating in anything. In anything, Tim.
He won in 2016 without cheating.
He's going. That's not true, Tim, because they suppressed the Stormy Daniels. You better follow me on this shit. That's not true, Tim. Everything that he does in his life, he has to figure out a way to stack the deck in his order, no matter what. Not paying his contractors, burying the Stormy Daniels. He knew that shit was illegal. He knew it was wrong. All the lawsuits he's had. This man he is mediocre as fuck. And I told you that before, and I'm standing by it.
All right, Mike, I got to move it on. Mediocre as fuck. I don't know. That's the strong language on our president, but I got to move it on, Mike. Thanks for coming through.
When I drop down, tell me something where he hasn't tipped the scales in his favor, and I'll concede.
All right. I'll have to think of that. Appreciate it.
I'll talk to you next week.
All right. Appreciate it. All right, by the way, he says next week, tap the screen, get us on up to 55,000. We'll take the next caller at that. If he's not blaming the Democrats in general, he's blaming Obama and Biden. Yeah, Trump does very well at the blame game. Listen, it's worked really well for him. I mean, say what you want about President Trump, but scapegoats has been very beneficial to him. It's been, because a lot of people believe what he's saying, and it has certainly brought him over a lot of support. So I understand why he's doing it. AKA Mike Myers is right, as always. Wonderful to say it. Great. A lot of Republicans went the other way. We need to get a woman in the White House, says handsome stubby fingers. Now, he said my last guess was correct as always, but a woman in the White House. Who? What female right now, and obviously there's plenty of time for one to become well known or one to become more well respected, but what woman right now do you see that could rise up to that status? Maybe one on the right? How about that? Perhaps a woman on the right. I don't know. Let me know. What woman? Kamala Harris says, pretty boy. Kamala Harris ain't it. Listen, I know a lot of folks believe that I bash Kamala Harris. You heard Gangsta Grandma tear me apart for that. But disregard anything I say about Kamala Harris and just look at the history of Kamala Harris. She ran for president. She did terrible. She did terrible when she ran her own campaign for president. And I'm not talking about the one with Tim Walsh in only 107 days. I'm talking about she ran for president when Biden won. She did terrible. Remember, she was trying to indicate that Biden was a racist, that girl was me. She did terrible. She didn't even make it past the Iowa caucus. She did bad. So I don't know. Listen, my opinion of Kamala Harris, And I met the woman. I actually voted for her, donated money, went to I've been meaning to put the picture of me. I took a picture with her, got to embrace her and all of that shit. I took a picture with her. Her and Cory Booker were there and all that. I was under Cory Booker, working and volunteering for him as well. But my opinion of Kamala Harris is most of her votes were anti-Trump votes. I stated during the election campaign when we were hosting these lives last year, and tap the screen. We'll take the next caller at 5 on up. This is Uncensored Programming. If you like that, feel free to follow us. Or if you're watching on TikTok or X or Instagram, if you're watching on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays, so feel free to subscribe to the program if you're on it on YouTube. But I said during the campaign that there were a certain amount of Americans that disliked Trump and would vote for anything you put in there as a checkbox that is not Trump. I think about 30% of US voters would have voted for a dog over Trump. He was very unpopular in 2024. I think about 30% of voters would have voted for a dog over him. And I do believe that most of Kamala Harris voters were those type of people. Not voting for Kamala Harris. They were voting against President Trump. Supporters of Trump, supporters of Obama, supporters of Mamdani, who just was victorious yesterday, they voted for those candidates because they like the candidate. You walked out of a Mamdani rally or a Trump rally or an Obama rally liking that candidate, wanting that candidate to win. I believe a large portion of people walking out of Kamala Harris rallies wanted Trump to lose. They were not voting for her, that's my opinion. Debo says, I'm starting to think Tim hates Kamala. No, I don't hate her. I think she's really attractive, by the way. No, I don't hate her. I just think she was a bad candidate. And I don't think Biden helped her out at all by refusing to step down until August of last year. But I think she was a bad candidate. That's just my opinion. Listen, she knew she was caught on a hot mic, I think, talking to Hillary Clinton. She knew she had a real big problem with male voters, yet she's avoiding shows like Rogan and things like that. You're hurting with men. You need to talk to men. A lot of men aren't voting for the feminist stuff and the LGBTQ stuff. You need to address the fact that you're losing men. Yeah, pro-choice, something I favor, but that's a woman's topic. You need to address the fact that you're losing a lot of men. I don't think she was a good candidate. I don't think she talked to the people like that. I think Mamdani, Obama, Trump, they're really good at talking to the people. I really believe that. Even now that Kamala Harris, and we did a live on this, last week, stated that she don't feel like she's done in politics. There's no huge amount of excitement about bringing Kamala Harris back among Democrats. There's no huge amount. There's more excitement about Obama, and he can't even legally run. So I'm simply telling you, I believe there's far more excitement about candidates that people want to vote for than a candidate that is only winning because people want to vote against someone else. That's my opinion. I understand a lot of you think I'm wrong, but I don't believe that Kamala Harris was really getting a lot of support. I think people were voting for her because she was the anti-Trump. Nikki Haley, or the female Congress lady that spoke the other night. I don't know which female Congress lady you're talking about, handsome, stubby fingers, but I think Nikki Haley, I think her chance, in my opinion, significantly decreased when she campaigned against Trump, said all kinds of things that were unfavorable to Trump, and then endorsed him. I mean, she pointed out a lot of things that obviously the left, many independents, and even some conservative detractors of Trump agreed with. Like suggesting that you don't vote against Democratic chaos by electing Republican chaos. She hit the nail on the head about Trump in many areas. But then to turn around and then endorse the guy? So I think that really would hurt Nikki Haley, in my opinion. I think that would really hurt her. And by the way, because Trump don't favor her that much at this point, Unless Trump is deceased or no longer able to speak, expect him to troll her campaign. She's not going to do well with the liberals at all. So the liberals don't want shit to do with Nikki Haley. But because Trump is going to continue trolling her as well, she don't have a party. She might as well be just like Elizabeth Cheney or whatever, Liz Cheney. I mean, she's a person without a party. So I don't see Nikki Haley being able to do it. Nikki Haley was a South Carolina governor that year. Myrtle Beach had a lot of issues. Bike week. Okay, but I'm just simply saying in the presidential campaign, you go against Trump. Trump trolls you, says all kinds of awful shit about you, and then you end. I mean, he's calling her bird brain throughout her campaign. MAGA was calling her bird brain, and then you turn around and endorse the guy. No, Nikki Haley doesn't come across as authentic. Now, Jasmine Crockett, people are bringing up Jasmine Crockett. The problem now, I don't have any problem with Jasmine Crockett. The left side of me doesn't, but I don't know. She may be too far to the left. I mean, the independents, and you're not going to get a lot of traditional Republicans that are going to favor Jasmine Crockett at the national level. Obviously, she's a representative. She's hinted about being a senator, maybe. Not President Crockett, huh? And I see in the comments, Pobil says you just love Trump. No, President Crockett. Do you see that? Ooh, 55,000. Tap the screen, get us there. We'll take the next caller. She is too far to the people, not politicians. That's what Trump got elected for, is that he too was not a typical politician. He was for the people. He was America first. Think about that, Brooks. Looking in the comments, yes, you just love Trump and defend him any way you can. Who's I gotta put on my spectacles? Is Israel Jason says I love Trump and defend him any way I can. No, listen, we give him credit for where he deserves credit. We give him criticism for where he deserves criticism. And she'll make a great president, says yesterday. She's not going to make a great president to people on the right. I don't think she would make a good president to them, but it is what it is. Let me look in the comments real quick before we go to the next caller. All Democrats need to do is go to the middle and they can win. The problem with going to the middle, freedom fighter, is you start getting ostracized by the far left. That's what Biden was doing. All of a sudden, the genocide Joe has got to go comments comes out. So you got to deal with them people. Now all of a sudden, people on the left are heckling your rallies. So I don't know. In this environment, going to the middle, I mean, because if you go to the middle, you're trying to get independence and some folks on the right. I don't know. MAGA's not going to go left until Trump's no longer on the planet, because Trump's going to troll the left and MAGA's going to continue supporting Trump even if he's no longer in the White House. They're going to probably follow him with whatever candidate of choice he puts up there. So I don't know about that one. Let me go back to the box, and we'll make it happen with Love to Cruz, one of my subs there. Good evening, Love to Cruz. There is no right, it's only far right. I don't know. I'm hearing Marjorie Taylor Greene speak now. I don't think she's far right anymore. There's plenty of folks on the right that are not far right. In fact, I'll submit this to you. The Republican Party is really just Trump. If you actually if something happened to Trump and he was no longer around, you would realize there's a whole lot of right-wing politicians that are not far right. They're just kind of sitting back and letting Trump run the scenes. Trump is operating in a far right manner, but I don't think they all agree with him. They're just not standing up to him. Love the Cruz. Good evening.
Hey, good evening to you also.
Hey, what am I getting wrong? People are telling me I love Trump.
Hey, man, I guess me and you both, man, we're going to catch hell. Because it isn't I love Trump, but I did vote for Miss Harris, not because of her, but a vote against her.
Right, and that's exactly what I said. I believe a large majority of her voters were anti-Trump votes. They were not because she was.
Yeah, it wasn't so much her. Yeah. You know, it was against Trump. So me and you both probably get cussed out by gangster grandma, but
But I do feel better. At least somebody finally actually agrees with what I'm saying, because this Democrat audience is tearing me apart. I think I got more Democrats on the program now because I'm getting tore up.
mega hiding today, but I got to tell you, everybody is happy. All we did was win a battle. We didn't win the war yet.
No shit.
No, midterms is the war. We just won a battle yesterday. So we need to buckle down and keep on doing what we're doing. And as far as, what's his name in New York?
Mamdani?
Yeah, I don't believe he's the voice of the Democrats.
Okay.
We got 50 states. Every mayor, governor, senator has to read his own rule.
Let me ask you this, because Takesha in the comments says we exceeded expectations. Do you believe the Democrats yesterday exceeded expectations?
No. I believe we just picked up what we should have did in the election.
They met expectations. You believe they didn't exceed expectations. You believe they met expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do too, because I don't know anybody that the Democrats had that won that was expected to lose. I mean, there was, the New Jersey race was expected to be a little bit closer than it was, but everybody that won was kind of predicted that they were likely to win.
That's what I think. So we just got to keep it up. We got to vote. We get mad at the politicians and this and that. But why, if I'm a politician, why would I address your concerns if you're not going to vote?
That is true. That is true. And that's the problem with a lot of, particularly minorities, definitely the black community, where they complain about a lot of shit and it's like, but you don't vote.
Exactly. Right now, the people, I feel sorry for them, the ones that are on food stamps. But how many of them do you think actually did not vote?
If you're going to talk about a group of people, I was going to say a community of people or a group of people that has low voter turnout, it's probably going to be a lot of them. You're right. It's probably going to be a lot of those folks.
Yeah, so there's sacrifice. You know what I mean? Because they didn't vote. Now, a lot of them have voted. Who knows? Vice President Harris might have been in now. And we might not have been going through this.
Yeah. Do you think, let me ask you this, because you admitted that you two picked Harris as the anti-Trump vote. I mean, take it any way you want. Do you think she would have been a better commander-in-chief than Trump?
Yes.
That's a long hesitation, though. Love the crew. That's a long hesitation.
About it. And really, the only thing Trump has done that I would give him above average grade is immigration. That's the only thing. Otherwise, no, he has a failing grade at everything.
Damn.
And even his strong suit, which is supposed to be the economy, he's failing at that too now.
Well, in regards to the economy, what about giving them an incomplete? I mean, because the economy hasn't gotten better under Trump in most areas, but it has not also gotten significantly worse either. It's been stable. Gas prices have went down somewhat. So he's only been in office 8-9 months, and he's gotten folks to commit to bringing jobs back and things like that that could affect the economy. How about giving them an incomplete as opposed to an F?
No, I can't, because of what he was preaching before the election.
Yeah.
According to him, everything's going to happen at warp speed.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. His biggest downfall is he made ridiculous promises that are almost impossible to measure up to. But speaking of ridiculous promises, what about Mamdani promising free buses, free daycare, rent controls? Is he doing something similar?
I don't know if it's going to be, just say with the daycare. I really think it's not going to be free to everybody. I think he's going to have to think outside the box in order to actually come through with some of his campaign promises. And what I mean by that, I don't know the population or how many people on daycare in New York or anything, so I'm just going to throw a number out there. Every year you have, just say, a lottery, and you use 10,000 families, and if they get the lottery, 10,000 people win the lottery, and they get free daycare for a calendar year. Then you can't get back in the lottery for 5 or 6 years, and you do another 10,000 the next year. But just to have everybody getting free daycare, I don't see that.
So he too may walk away with over promising like Trump. He may be just like Trump in that area then.
Yeah. And which isn't a bad, like I said, he read the room. And that's what the room called for. Yeah.
So what are we entering, an era where we got a whole bunch of George Santos, the Congress, the disgraced congressman in New York, George Santos. What are we doing? We're entering a political era where the politicians just promise a whole bunch of shit that they have no possibility of ever delivering. I know politicians have a history of lying, but it seems like it's on steroids now, where they're promising things that we kind of know the day they take office is likely not to be met.
No, I think, like I said, all states are not the same. So what he did in New York may not work here in Ohio, may not work in Alaska.
True.
But it worked in New York, and he got elected. So you have to read your state to know if you can overpromise and put that bullshit out, and it's gonna work.
Well, let's be clear. If he was running in Birmingham or Montgomery, Alabama somewhere, they don't favor entitlement programs at all. So as opposed to promising free daycare and free buses, they would be promising that nobody's going to get on the bus for free. Nobody's going to be required to pay for somebody else's daycare. Kind of like when Tim Scott said, if you take out a loan, you got to pay it back. I mean, so the right is the exact opposite in that area.
Well, that's reading the room. Now, if you're a Democrat, you have to read that room, and you have to add your own something to it to make them like you. It's about liking. It's just like a salesman. You don't buy nothing from nobody you don't like.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. That's crazy, but that is a good point.
Yeah, I buy stuff from people I like. I don't like.
You raise a good point because I often bring up Trump's trolling and name calling and things like that. And the right, my MAGA viewers always say that the Democrats vote based on their feelings and things like that. And you are correct. If a person don't like you, you're not going to be able to sell yourself to them. And there's no denying Trump intent. I mean, he stated he hates Democrats. So I kind of wonder, what is the goal? I mean, you're going to tell half the country you hate them and you expect them to support anything you're doing? I mean, because as a politician, your job is to sell yourself. And as you stated, nobody's going to buy anything from you if they don't like you. So what is he trying to do by saying he hates Democrats?
He just setting himself up, man. He knows this is his last race. So what I gotta kiss ass for? I'm not, after this, I'm done being president.
What about the legacy of his party?
Man, fuck him. That's what he's saying. Fuck him.
Are you telling me President Trump, Mr. America First, does not even care about his own party's future?
No, he doesn't care. Remember years ago, he would say, fuck, the Republicans are stupid anyway.
Come on now, you're going to tell me you see this? Then why doesn't MAGA see it this way? They voted for him.
MAGA's stupid as fuck. It's either you're in the cult or you're just a dumbass.
That's a tad insulting.
That's the truth. The man that said this, the man that pissed on you, told it was raining, everything, and you still back him. If Obama had did all this shit to me, I mean, man, fuck Obama, and I like Obama a lot. Man, fuck Obama,
Well,
but for some reason they keep on saying, no, Trump, fuck me more, as gangster grandma would say,
She would say something like that too. She absolutely would say something like that.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's only two type of MAGA. Either in the cult or they stupid as fuck.
Well, like I said, that's a bit harsh. I'll say it this way. There are a lot of legitimate reasons to vote for President Trump. Like I mentioned all the time, he promised to end wars in 24 hours. He was going to turn the economy around right away. I mean, even folks who were concerned about whether or not elite members of our society were getting away with abusing children, a la the Epstein list, he was going to be transparent and let us know. I mean, He promised a lot of good shit. I can understand why people would vote for
He
him.
promised a lot of shit. What has he done?
He's only been in for 9 months.
What has he done, Tim?
He's only been in
Fuck
for
all that.
9
What has he
months.
done, man?
He's only been in
What
for
has he
9
done?
You gotta give him time.
The motherfucker that started more wars than he stopped.
Well, how about this? He's secured the border. I always bring it up.
That's the only thing you got.
He protected the integrity of women's sports.
Oh, it wasn't nothing to do. That ain't shit. That wasn't nothing to do.
It meant a lot to his supporters, though. That's what I'm saying, Leather Cruz. It meant a lot to his supporters. Also, he has indeed imposed tariffs that a lot of folks believe is a good thing to correct a trade imbalance.
And we finding out there that's fucked up. And a lot of them he coming back on anyway.
Well,
He said he went over to China, and now they're buying soybean. Okay, that's the same deal Biden had that you fucked up, and now you reinstating it.
He's stopping dangerous drugs like fentanyl that could kill millions of people from coming in this country every day.
Let him tell it you're coming to Venezuela. You killing innocent people over there for it. Everybody, the drugs like fentanyl only coming from either the Middle East, China, Colombia. They're not coming from Venezuela.
Well, he says otherwise, but
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tim, I don't know about you sometime, man. I wonder about you.
I gotta listen. The guy made NATO member states pay more for their own defense. Is that not a good thing? So it's not in our hands. They're now paying more for their own defense. Trump did that.
And who getting the money?
It ain't us.
Just like we're not getting the money off of tariffs, we're not getting no money. Now, where all this money he's saving us? With Doge, all the federal workers they fire, all this money, man, billions and billions of dollars. Where is this at? Where's all the money at?
Maybe it'll go to the deficit. I don't know. I can't speak on it. I do got to move it on Leather Cruz, but listen, I do get a guy a little bit of credit. Let me ask you to you this way. Do you think he's done anything good for the country at all?
I said the immigration, that was it.
Okay. All right.
I gotta give him that. I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna be honest. If he does something, I give it to him. But he ain't did. That's all he did. You know, and then ICE. You know, in the long run, man, we got to fuck ICE up.
Well, what about this? In some of America's largest cities, a la Washington, D.C., Portland, he's lowered crime.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. This is what I want to know. You brought ICE or whatever to Washington to lower the crime. Now, what is the crime rate? When you did that, did the crime rate in Virginia and Baltimore and all that go up? Because all you do, the criminals are criminals.
Yeah.
Now, what'd you do? Just chase them down the street? And now they're doing crimes down the street?
There is a real possibility that is exactly what happened, but we'll never know because they're not going to tell you that. I got to move it on Leather Cruz, but that I actually said that when it happened is that listen, if you're robbing to get by, you're robbing as a career, and they flood an area you're in with military or people with badges or whatever, you're just going to go to an area where they're not at. So,
exactly.
Yeah. I believe
so
that.
I like to see the crime rate in all these other areas. Why they're in Portland or whatever. Okay, show me the crime rate around before they got there and after.
Yeah. As many Second Amendment supporters often say, if you ban guns, they'll just find another way. Well, if you flood their area with cops, they'll just find another place. I gotta go, Leather Cruz. Thanks for coming through.
All right.
Appreciate it. Hey, by the way, folks, tap the screen. Get us on up to 70. We'll take the next caller there. Ligma says, I support Donald Trump because he helped me realize that I could date my cousin and he's orange like Doritos. That went south really fast there, Ligma. I support Donald Trump because he helped me realize I could date my cousin. Yikes. And he's orange like Doritos. Doritos are good. but I don't want to date my cousin. Holy shit. All right, let me go back to the box. And I've been getting hammered by the one and only Takesha Bowie. So I'm do want to see if she wants to give me a little bit of a compliment. The handsome conservative says we are not going to vote for Hillary or Kamala. Now that was in regards to are there any women capable of being a sufficient commander in chief? Takesha, good evening. What was I getting wrong?
I'm so sick of your big sweat bed head. You get on my nerves, Tim. You give Donald Trump all the grace in the world, but you don't want to get nobody else grace. Let me tell you why I said we exceeded last night in the races. We flipped counties. We took seats that had not been Democrat for over 20 years. We did exceed, Tim, in some races you probably don't even know about, all over in Georgia. So shut up and stop saying we did not exceed, because yes, he did with your big sweet bleed head. You know what, Tim? I'm sick of you. Well, the man ain't been in office for 9 months. Well, his last term, when he was in there 3 months, he was claiming the economy that he had nothing to do with. I'm sick of you. I'm starting to think, Tim, that you are undercover MAGA.
Really? MAGA disagrees with you. MAGA calls me names.
I'm going to think you're an undercover MAGA because you want to take up for Trump so much.
No, and I see in the comments, sidecar Tommy says, boom. No, that is not a mic drop. Pick the damn microphone up. Listen, I'm going to tell you that I do give Trump credit when he deserves it. I mean, the guy has done some things that are good for the country. Is it wrong? Wait, hold on. Is it wrong to give a man credit when he does right?
This is what you said, Tim. Well, it ain't been but 9 months. What the hell? Tim, stop.
Is that not accurate?
Tim, stop.
Oh, come on.
Tim.
You just want me to bash the guy endlessly?
Let me say this. If Trump had to put those tariffs in like he did, the economy would be looking better. But because he came in and did what he did, he effed it up. So no, we're not giving him credit for destroying something that could have been good.
Wait a minute. You said if Trump imposed the tariffs, the economy. So you believe?
I said if he had not.
Oh, if he had not. Okay. Well, but what about his claim of this may be some short-term pain for long-term gain?
Tim, you're not stupid. You just
look like good in
that tie. Now listen. You didn't look stupid in that tie. Listen.
What the hell?
You know good and well that a tariff ain't nothing but a tax on us.
That's not what the Trump administration says, Takesha.
Let me explain something to you. Trump said there's a tariff shelf. Okay, we need some money for the stamps. Why we can't get it off the tariff shelf?
Wait. Wait. Say that again. I got distracted. Wait, repeat that.
Trump says that there's a tariff shelf.
Okay.
You remember he said they were looking for the money, and he said go look on the tariff shelf, and the money was on the tariff shelf. Why we can't go on the shelf and get some money to fund SNAP?
You can't take them at face value. Maybe you were taking them out of context a little bit.
There you go. There you go.
What?
There you go. Tell me we can't take him at face back. Yeah, you always got an excuse for Trump.
I mean, listen. Sometimes he says a few things that are. I'm just saying.
Tim,
yes, ma'am.
Tim, I'm about to stop fooling with you.
Come on now. We can't have a friendly conversation.
I'm about to stop coming to your show.
This is a friendly conversation between political allies.
Tim, I'm about to not be your friend. First, you tried to downplay the Democrats' blue wave, saying that it wasn't, exceeding expectations.
The Democrats did not exceed expectations. I disagree with you on that.
Were we supposed to flip them seats in Georgia? You don't even know nothing about that race.
Yeah, you talking about the council or whatever the hell their titles are. I heard about it. It's 2 of them or something like that.
Were we supposed to flip those?
Nobody gave a damn about those.
I'm asking a question.
I don't think nobody even knew about that stuff.
And guess what? That's why I say it exceeded our expectations. Because we was not expecting.
Okay, so 2 Democrats are now the head of a local library. That's
okay, Tim, we flip counties. Red counties. See, what you're not going to do is make it seem like what we did last night was not awesome. See, that's why I say you are undercover MAGA. You acting just like Donald Trump. Like what we did was not a big thing, Tim. We did fantastic. And guess what that let people know? They sick of the Trump and Republican Party. They said that the turnout for the voting was greater than the doggone presidential election.
Well, I don't think they're sick of Trump and the Republican Party. They just didn't like the candidate. They didn't like the candidates put forward. In fact, wait a minute.
Here we go.
Fact is, the areas this stuff happened in are not that red. These are blue areas. Of course they're sick of Trump. They didn't like him to begin with.
Tim, in Virginia, 3 of those counties were red. That we flipped. Stop it, Tim. See how you trying to take our victory and make it seem so small? That's why you got that red towel. Yeah, you think you Donald Trump today because you got that red towel, Tim.
This has nothing to do with that.
Tim, you are not to be trusted, Tim.
Oh my God! Listen, I am MAGA friendly. I say that all the time. The program is MAGA friendly, but
Tim, you are MAGA.
MAGA friendly. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Make a video about you, Tim. I'm finna make a video about you, Tim.
MAGA friendly. That's what we are.
You're MAGA.
No, friendly. You're missing part of that.
You are MAGA.
You guys are being mean. You're being mean today.
You're MAGA, Tim.
You're hurting my feelings. Where's my cup?
I don't care.
Where's my cup of liberal tears? I got it around here somewhere. You guys are being mean today.
Tim, who's being mean?
You liberals are.
Stop trying to act like what we did wasn't great.
What does that say?
I'm sorry.
Tim.
Maybe it didn't impress. Just say it didn't impress you.
I feel that
just say it did not impress me.
Let me state it clearly.
Speak for yourself.
Let me state it. No, because my last caller even agreed too that they didn't exceed expectations.
I ain't saying him either. I can't wait till MAGA grandma, till gangster grandma get on him. See, that's why your head ain't shining today. Because you don't have no glow when you're on the other side. You need to go get a buffing rag and buff that thing out. And maybe you can get your senses back so you keep back over here with the Democrats.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. I'm not claiming
I'm mad at you today, Tim.
I don't want you. I want you to be happy. This is a program meant to cheer up, folks.
Tim, you done killed all the joy when you tried to downplay our win. I can't with you, Tim.
I did not downplay. Hold on. I did not downplay the victory of Democrats. I simply suggested it's not an exceeding of expectations. They did what they were supposed to do.
Don't downplay nothing when it comes to my party. You stick with your party over there, you Republican you.
You don't change my party now? What am I?
Change your party affiliation because you're acting like you're on the other side.
What am I? I'm suddenly a dino? Come on, listen. I do still lean politically left, but I call it as I see it. It wasn't they didn't exceed expectations.
Just say to you. Just say, in my opinion, they did not exceed expectations. Speak for yourself.
What do you listen? We're sitting here having this conversation, and you kind of make me wonder, what are you going to say next? That she was a good candidate? I mean, like...
Let me tell you something. I've already told you to stop speaking on that woman. Leave that woman alone.
She's part of the political conversation.
That woman is not even in... That woman is minding her business on the book tour. She didn't win. Leave it alone.
She's the one
We're not going to keep bringing that up. She didn't win. That's the end of that. Move on.
She's the one that's on TV talking about she's not done in politics. Maybe she should do that.
She didn't win the race. We're not going to keep talking about it.
She's hosting a book tour, Takesha, stating she may run again.
Don't make me get it shut down. We know why she didn't win.
Because she was a bad candidate. That's why she didn't win.
Elon Musk rigged those machines.
Oh, come on. You sound like the witch. What is this collusion now? Elon Musk stopped her from winning?
How you calling out who won before the people announced it. Baby, bye.
That was
anyway, Tim. We ain't even finna talk about that. But Tim, let me say this to you.
Sure.
Either you gonna be all in or you gonna be all out. Cause what I feel is
what if I'm too big to be all in?
Well, you know what, Tim? You ain't that big if you want.
Take your time. You're stuttering now, ain't you? You're stuttering now, ain't you?
If you want to go there, Tim, don't make me talk out your clothes, Tim. Don't make
I
me
didn't
talk
say nothing about clothes. I didn't say nothing about clothes.
You too big to fit in.
I just asked a question. I just asked a question. That's all we do here. That's all we do here.
Your mind is in the gutter just like your liberal beliefs, Tim. They in the gutter because you have changed to the other side, Tim. And that's what you got to do to get your audience back.
What the hell are you talking about? I didn't change to no other side. I'm still right here.
Tim. I don't trust you. Anybody with a dull, shining head ain't got no glow to it, I don't trust.
Okay, hold on. I didn't change. I'm still Eddie Kane. Nights like this. Dang. What are you talking about? I
don't wish the raindrops would fall. You don't wish that, Tim. I knew you was somebody when you talking about you went to the Trump rally. I should have been side-eyeing you then. When you're all up in the Trump rally with your big finger with the number one holding up, tell me I love Trump. I know that's what you was doing at the rally, Tim. I saw you.
I didn't say I love Trump. I thought he was.
I got a video of you, Tim. They said you was at the rally having you a good time, raising your hand, telling me we love you.
Listen, I'm not exactly like the Venezuelan woman. We love you, Donald Trump. No, I did not do that.
They said you wrote the song. I will vote for Donald Trump. They said you wrote that song, Tim.
Takesha, I swear to God, Gangsta Grandma don't created a clone in you. I already know you got it in you because I've heard you do this to other people. But damn, not your boy. Not your boy.
Tim, you were my boy till you tried to downplay the victory. I said, let me get up here and talk about this moonshine head man ratting out tonight, looking like he ready to go serve anybody at a table at the Olive Garden. Don't do it no more, Tim. Don't do it no more.
You know, I'm going to get a fucking complex with you guys. You know that? You guys are awful.
What you keep dressing up for, Tim? You're running for a seat, Tim. You want to be a part of the administration, Tim.
I would love that. Maybe I could get things back on track. Maybe I could indeed make America great again.
Now you want to go work for Trump.
I could perhaps make America great again. Is that not a good thing?
Tim, you can't even make that tie great again. So we know you ain't finna make America great again.
I think your time is up.
Let it go, Tim.
Takesha, I got nothing but love for you. You were hard on me today.
Tim, it's been fun.
You were hard on me today, but you're always welcome back. Thank you, Takesha, for coming.
Hi, friend.
Oh my God, appreciate it. Tap the screen, folks. It ain't easy doing this. Show your boys some love. Help me finish off that TikTok cap. Hat mustache, whatever the hell it's called, go. Nevertheless, tap the screen, get us on up to 70,000. We don't block banners or push. Debo says equal pushback is all we live for. What are you, a civil pushback leader or something? Anyway, I wish raindrops would fall. Takesha, you wonder why Tim's wearing suits. He's undercover. He's lying to you, says handsome stubby. Undercover what? I am not undercover. I'm out in the open. I'm letting you folks know that it doesn't matter what the political affiliation is, R or D. If the person does a good job, give them credit. This is not a program where you tune in to get a good case of derangement syndrome. We don't do that here. We don't bash every damn thing about Trump. We don't favor everything about the liberals. We give both sides equal credit and criticism where it's due. Mitchell Davis says, Tim, you fluffing, homie. Homie, stop it. There's no fluffing here. There's no fluffing. So patriotic, Tim. Thank you, Diane. Okay, finally, somebody's seeing the love. What is that? What did that say? I saw somebody said something I wanted to. Jesus, you guys don't make it easy, though. Tim keeps avoiding me. Yeah, Brooks, we see you. By the way, understand, I just want to say this all the time. I don't, other than the hat and mustache go, sometimes I solicit a little bit, but I don't solicit too hard. But if you're on YouTube with some of these programs, understand you want your comment to really be seen. Grant a super chat. It changes my colors, changes the whole screen a different color. All 100% of super chats are always red and addressed because it changes the screen colors. I don't avoid those at all. I don't care if it's a 99 center, it's going to change the screen color. So Tim is saying, brother, can you spare a dime? I would come out and say that. Anyway, let me go back to the box. They hate common sense, says Real Talk. There you go. There you go. They hate common sense. I do believe there is a sufficient amount of that. R Green, yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you very much. Looking in the comments here, it's crazy. Both sides are full of hate. Wow. I actually just want America to come together. We all are on the same team. I really like that comment coming from, I think it says tree something. I can't, trees quarrel or something. Here's the problem. When I say this all the time, we didn't vote for unity. We didn't vote for a nation to come together. We just didn't. President Trump, who is the commander in chief right now, we can talk about divisive things that Biden or Clinton or Obama said, but fact is we voted for President Trump in this last election. So bringing up Biden at this point is irrelevant. We voted for Trump, and Trump was not campaigning on unity or bringing this country together. He campaigned on division. He made it clear he was targeting liberals in Democrat cities. He didn't hide that. So we heard him speak, and we made him our 47th commander in chief. So when folks suggest we need to come together and unite, why would you expect that? We didn't vote for that. We voted for division. We got division. I mean, now he's stating he hates Democrats, and even with the government shutdown, he's going to target Democrat programs. He's saying he's attacking Democrats every day, and he was doing that on the campaign. So we didn't vote for unity. We voted for division. You really can't complain if we're divided. Sully, least polarizing political head on YouTube Live. Thank you, Sully, after the abuse I just took. Says we are coming together based on many things. Well, I would prefer that. I'll tell you one thing. If they keep fucking with people's healthcare premiums, we may come together on that, because that is something, and I believe Mike was on the program stating that's something everybody can understand. If they keep fucking with people's healthcare premiums or just their pocketbooks in general, that might be something the left and right comes together on. And what the Trump administration is doing right now by raising premiums by multiples is something that even the most ardent Trump supporter is not going to ignore. Listen, if you think Kamala Harris or Biden was going to destroy the fucking country, you might be willing to accept a 5% increase in premiums or something like that, another $20, $30. Hell, I'd rather pay $20 extra than put in Kamala or Sleepy Joe Biden. But if all of a sudden your premiums increase by multiples, that ain't going to be something that you're going to overlook. That is not going to be something you're going to overlook. And what they're doing to healthcare premiums right now is increasing them by multiples. People are talking about my premium went from $400 to $1,200. You're not going to overlook that, no matter how bad you think the Democrats are. So that may be something people do rally around and unite. Because and the same thing with SNAP benefits. Listen, if all of a sudden, they cut my SNAP benefits by 5%, 10%, I really can't afford that at all. But as opposed to putting some of these crazy ass liberals in there, me and my family will find another way. But when you find out your SNAP benefits ain't coming at all, you getting zero, that's enough to rally people around. So, Sully, I do agree with it from that standpoint that some of the things that is happening from the Trump administration are so radical and outside the norm that you have no other choice but to pay attention to it. It's not a slight increase. Some of these cases, multiples in terms of healthcare premiums and going to zero and SNAP benefits, that's going to draw, getting fired, stuff like that. That is going to bring people out. Kamala was the worst candidate and vice president, says Time. Appreciate the super chat. I don't think she was a good candidate whatsoever. But in terms of her being the worst vice president, I don't know. I can't agree with that. I cannot agree with that because, well, first of all, the vice presidents are not known for doing much. Really, the only vice president that was known for doing anything of significance in recent history was the dude that just died yesterday, Dick Cheney. He was known as one of the most powerful vice presidents we've ever had. Many suggest that he was running the country as opposed to George W. Bush. So he would be a vice president you could attribute things to. A lot of folks who favor Trump think that Trump was a great president in his first term. They don't give Mike Pence credit for a damn thing. So vice presidents are not really known for doing much. This is why when folks are constantly criticizing Kamala Harris and saying, well, she ain't done shit. Like, none of them have. That's not their job. Their job is to really just be there in case of the president's demise, be the tying vote in the Senate if necessary. I think Kamala Harris did do that once or so, but it ain't much there. They don't do much other than, go around and meet people and they were calling her the border czar. She doesn't have any power. She's going to go down to the border, see what she likes, see what she doesn't like, and make recommendations to Biden. But that falls in Biden's hands. What did Mike Pence do legislatively that you're going to give him credit for? He didn't do anything. So it's not really their job to do anything like that. I don't know why people gave her credit or criticism for doing a lot as VP. VPs don't do shit. Gavin Newsom blew up the dams, no water for the fires. I think you're going to hear a whole lot of talk about Gavin Newsom coming up because it does appear as if Gavin Newsom might be the next round in the magazine. It does appear as if when the Democrats pull the trigger, Gavin Newsom may come flying out at 2,000 feet per second. That might be the guy that's going to be. You're going to hear a whole lot of criticism about Gavin Newsom coming up. I do believe that. Certainly with Prop 50 passing in California, a lot of Democrats are liking Gavin Newsom. He's checking off boxes. So expect the Republicans to start fighting whatever ammunition they can use against Gavin Newsom. Anyway, going back to the box, get us up to 75. King Finn. He's a crook like all rich people are, says Seth. Wow. Like I said, none of you belong here in my country. Damn, Brooks.
Yes. Thank you. Welcome. Cut that shit. Hey, man.
Oh. It's been a rough night. Tell me you're going to be easy on your boy.
Man, hell no. You been outed tonight, bruh. You been outed as the motherfucking MAGA you is, dog. I can't believe this shit. I didn't think it was real. I've been trying to tell myself that your ass wasn't MAGA for so long. But tonight, I see you been fluffing enough to make the motherfucking statement true. Ain't no way in hell. Boy, hell nah. How you gonna try to downplay the blue wave? Really? I'm very surprised that you tell me.
Hold on.
I'm really surprised at you.
Okay, I think you're missing. I don't want to be in the same category as Charlie Kirk, but perhaps you're taking me out of context. Let me just say this.
Oh boy.
What? You're taking me out of context.
My fucking ears. You damn, see, that's why I say your ass is MAGA. You damn MAGA use that word context like it's going out of fucking style. Every fucking thing you say, we gotta read it in context. No, motherfucker, you said what you said. Okay. Just like Trump said what he said. Your ass sat on this show fluffing the whole motherfucking day talking about the blue wave wasn't a lot. It wasn't that good. It wasn't so much. Are you fucking kidding me? We flipped Virginia. We made more houses. Prop 50 got passed. Are you fucking kidding me? Georgia. What are we doing here, Tim?
I'm going to say what I said again. The Democrats did what the Democrats were expected to do. It ain't no major race that the Democrats won, and people were like, "Damn, that was a what the underdog came through and won." They didn't win no race that they weren't expected to win. They just won by a larger margin, like in New Jersey. That governor was expected to be a close race.
Fucking votes, yeah. 100,000 fucking votes.
Okay.
More than 60 fucking percent. Yeah. Smash the motherfucking Republicans. Are you kidding me right now?
Okay, so
No fucking way.
So-
You know who else holds that sentiment that you got right now? Guess who else holds that? And is scared as fuck and said that shit. Guess who else?
Who?
Little Mike Johnson. Little Mike Johnson's scared as fuck right now. And Trump ain't saying shit. I ain't checked True Social yet or Live Social yet, but them motherfuckers are scared. Like they fucking should be. Don't downplay
Well, I'm
that
gonna
shit.
tell you right off the bat, there is no reason for Trump to be scared. He ain't running again.
Yeah. That ain't what he say. That's not what his campaign say. His campaign say Trump 2028, remember?
Yeah, but
Don't they throw that in your chat all the time?
Trump-
I had motherfuckers last night after the fucking polls closed at 1 o'clock. I went live. You know, all the MAGA motherfuckers came in there crying, whining and crying. I sent you the tape of the shit. The shit was hilarious to me. Because my backdrop said MAGA.
I've actually saw you. I've been working. I've seen you in a couple of lives, and I wanted to get in there and just, because anytime I see any of my viewers or supporters doing their own thing, I come in and, I'll certainly come in and chat with you. You can do whatever you do here, there too. But I saw you. I'm about to come in your show. I didn't see the MAGA you're talking about because I wasn't able to watch it for as much because I was working, but I had to come check you out. So you're saying MAGA was coming in there and they were a little bit upset.
Bring your MAGA friends. I say, come check me out. Bring pizza lover bitch ass. And what's that other motherfucker name? In Motion. Motherfucker sound like he stopped. What's that other motherfucker name?
MAGA Reacts, DJ Julio, Gen X.
Listen, first of all, Gen X then already tried to come in on one of Service Lives. We not even having that bullshit. You can keep that Proud Boy fuck shit to yourself. Second of all,
wait a minute, are you running a live where you actually censor? We don't censor here.
Oh no, I don't censor you, but once you say some stupid shit, I cuss you out and you get the fuck off my panel and out my room. I don't stand for the bullshit. I'm not you. I don't go for that shit.
All right, okay.
Okay, I don't go for that shit. You can say some dumb shit all you want to, but once it gets to a point, guess what? Your ass is off the island. Get the fuck out of my kingdom.
I see Sherbert in the comments stating he does censor. So okay, fair enough. Listen, we run a wild show at times. Some folks say we're Springer. Like I get it. A lot of people don't want to hear that. But so
DJ, who knows where DJ Julio is? That motherfucker probably got rounded up. I ain't heard from his ass in a long time. He get snatched up by ICE.
His profile got stolen from him. I talked to him about a week or so ago. He had to create a second profile. His profile got stolen. Some of these mods and these other folks reach out to you and say, I can help your channel or whatever, and you go ahead and join what they call their organization or some shit like that. They can steal your password and everything, and you lose access to your own account.
That's fucked up for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have did that dumb shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't be saying the dumb shit he was saying. That might be a problem. I don't know. But we're going to go back to your fluffing ass.
Oh, God.
Because you've been fluffing all motherfucking night long. I ain't going to let you run from that shit. Yo, fake ass, MAGA ass.
This is just bash on the liberal night, huh? You guys got liberal derangement syndrome.
We gonna bash your damn motherfucking bald head in tonight.
Oh, God.
We gonna bash all of that dim off your motherfucking head. Maybe once you get done knocking some sense into you, you come back to the right motherfucking place. Because the Keisha started with your ass. Gangsta Grandma started in on your ass. And then Takesha got on your motherfucking head. Mike was already on your motherfucking head. And you didn't want to say nothing about that. Because I heard Mike little part two. Mike bust your motherfucking head open. You know he did.
I tell you, I have not heard the term head this much since I got on Pornhub. You guys are always talking about your boy's head. I wish I could cut and clip this shit up and send it to some chick. It would make me sound like I'm really good at head. I don't get why you keep saying this over the kid. Your boy's head looks like a head. That's all it is.
See, at some point right now, I know Trump know you got some good head. Because you be fluffing. Yeah.
That was kind of low. You know that? That was below the belt. You know that?
Hey, I'm not Michelle. She said when they go low, we go high. No, when they go low, I go to hell. I'm just like that. I'm petty as a son, bitch.
When they go low, I go to hell?
But we gonna go back to your fluffing ass. While you sitting here trying to downplay all of that work we did last night. People was running to the damn polls. The motherfucking polls was ready to be called damn near before the damn near like 10 minutes to an hour after the motherfucking shit was done.
Yeah, I was watching News Nation. They were one of the first to call it, and I was like, damn. I mean, they pretty much got a ballot dump from New York. The minute the polls closed, they were already calling it for Mamdani. I'm like, damn, is that quick? Yeah, they called Mamdani within, I don't know, 20 minutes or some shit.
No, you missed a couple of the people who was talking, a couple of the shows, and it was a guy that was in Queens on CNN, and he said they bum rushed the motherfucking polls at 7 o'clock. When the motherfuckers opened, it was a line around the block full of Mexican people, Spanish people, and Latino people, and they bum rushed that bitch as soon as it opened.
Are you suggesting that the Hispanic community finally realized they ain't white?
Hell yeah, they realize. They know now. And Latinos for Trump shit, that's over.
Yeah. That's where I think the Trump administration and the Republican Party is going to face its biggest threat is that they've pissed off. I think they've actually pissed off the Hispanic community more than they've done the blacks. And the problem is just like with the see the problem is just like with the African American community where they typically vote Democrat. I think what Trump has done is probably going to lead to a large portion of the Hispanic community voting Republican for a long time. I mean, a lot of these folks are going to remember this for who knows, God knows, maybe the rest of their lives. I mean, the rounding up, the folks with masks on and things like that, you're going to have to be an apologist if you are a Republican politician to that community, if you're hoping to get their votes in the future, and tell them, I'm not going to do what he did during that era. I don't agree with what he did during that era because, yeah, my guess is he's probably really hurt Republicans' relationship with Hispanics for a long, long time.
I'll say this: I get a couple people in my life that are Hispanic and tell me, well, they still stand by their vote, for Trump, and I can kind of deal with that. I do deal with that shit because I have to, because half of the time they be talking bullshit out the side of their neck. But the point of it is when you round up and fucking deport everybody's abuelita, their cousins, their sons and shit, how do you think that's gonna work for you?
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna work? The black community has always dealt with the bullshit from the government. So we're gonna be here doing what the fuck we always been doing, which is surviving through the motherfucking struggle anyway. But you added some new shit to it and went ahead and made a whole nother demographic of people pissed off. You don't think that's gonna have some kind of backlash?
Yeah, and I think not only has he hurt an additional demographic of people, but it's worse because of two reasons. First of all, I believe the Hispanics are more reliable to show up and vote than the black community is, and they certainly have larger numbers. So you're hurting from two angles. Now you pissed off a bigger voting bloc that are more reliable to show up to the polls. Gen X in the comments though says King Finn should grow some nuts and let me on his live. So he hurt you.
I got nuts already. I could give less than a damn about letting you on my live because you a fucking clown. I don't fuck with you fucking clowns. You fucking fake ass Proud Boy weekend warrior motherfuckers. Go change your oxygen tank and stay the fuck out of my damn face.
Why he gotta be? He's a legitimate Proud Boy. Why he gotta be a fake one?
He's a legitimate ass stain. I don't fuck with you Proud Boy motherfuckers because y'all a bunch of patriot terrorist motherfucking patriot terrorist traitors. You motherfuckers are traitors to the fucking country. You some weekend warrior motherfuckers that suited up to go do a motherfucking coup. You are a fucking clown. You should be in jail. That's where the fuck you should be. You fucking traitors. Along with your traitorous ass fucking leader.
I thought Trump suggested that the Proud Boys were patriots. They love the country.
Tim, I'm not gonna start that fluffing shit with you. I told you already. You know damn well. Don't start that fluffing shit with me.
I'm just saying.
Do it.
I believe some of them may actually be working with ICE now.
They probably are. The Jan Sixers too. I mean, hey, you pick a fat white dude and put him in a suit. Hey, it works.
They gotta be. What are you talking about, Santa Claus?
No badges, no nothing, and pick up and snatch up people out of the motherfucking streets for no fucking reason at all. Of them actually just living their daily fucking lives. These fat fucking weekend warriors ran up in motherfucking in courts and shit while these people are trying to get their fucking asylum. And you think that's a good thing? Fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck MAGA. Put them all up.
You say put a fat man in a suit. What are you saying? You talking about Santa Claus? You're getting deported for Christmas?
Yeah, they probably are.
Shit.
Shit, who the fuck knows? That's what ICE want to do. That's what Trump want to do. And meanwhile, all this shit's going on in the country. This fat shit stain is sitting in the fucking White House having a Halloween party. The Great Gatsby at that. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know the story of the Great Gatsby? For real?
Yeah.
And that's what you do?
Yeah, that
Holy fucking shit.
that had a let them eat cake. That had a let them eat cake aura to it. So, but listen,
cake. Motherfuckers eating cake with gold motherfucking forks while the rest of the public is struggling to get snapped. And when the courts told this motherfucker to open up and give him the money, what did he say? No, I ain't doing that. Really? How about this? How about we take the money that Biden left in the emergency slush fund for any emergency the country would have and give that as SNAP benefits? We can't, because he don't know where the fuck it's at. Tell him to find that. But he's such a great leader, right? While your grandma is about to have to pay double for her motherfucking health care. About to have to pay double for her motherfucking food. Ain't getting her motherfucking SNAP benefits and her SSI. But he's having a fucking Halloween party dressed up as the Great Gatsby. Really? That's what you want to do?
well,
We're not even going to talk about the shit he's doing overseas, because I want to focus right here on America First. Let's talk about America First. Is America First having a fucking Halloween party as the Great Gatsby while motherfuckers are starving and about to get kicked out of their motherfucking house? Can't get motherfucking food for their kids? Can't get WIC for their babies? Is that America First? Don't sound like it to me. Sound like rich motherfuckers.
I see Matt the Cat 75 said he's spitting facts. I can't push back on that because I do agree that the America First slogan that Trump campaigned on does not seem to be visible in what he is doing. Whether we're attacking other countries, whether we're bailing out other countries, the America First portion, it just doesn't seem to be existent. I mean, I don't see anything he's doing. Like you're mentioning SNAP, we're mentioning healthcare, all while having, as you mentioned, the Great Gatsby party. You're getting new jets. Kristi Noem got a new jet. You're building an extra wing on the White House. You're giving money to Argentina. Where is the America First part of this stuff at? It just doesn't seem to be there.
It does not fucking exist. And for you people who are still sitting there saying it's the Democrats' fault that it's a shutdown, the Democrats are trying to save y'all with them same subsidies we had during COVID. It's not a unrealistic idea that everybody in this country would need health care. We should have done universal basic health care in the fucking first place, or universal health care in the fucking first place, because that would actually save us a little bit of money. I'm okay with paying $36 to $75 for everybody in this country to have health care. Oh, and another thing, quote unquote undocumented people cannot receive fucking health care, you idiots. It's not true.
Well, there is a let me fluff a little bit. And by the way, Mama Bear, no, you're not wrong. Let me just say this in regards to illegal immigrants cannot get health care. Officially, that is true. As an illegal immigrant, you cannot get health care. However, there are backdoor ways. It's just like when people were saying, no, none of your money is going to allow a woman to terminate a pregnancy. No, but the money that you're giving is used for other stuff to free up money to allow to give the women to do that. The same thing with
My bad.
Okay. So the point I'm making is, if you send federal money to a state that is a sanctuary state or a sanctuary city, that federal money frees up money that they would have used for other stuff that they can now divert to making sure some immigrants, if they show up to the hospital with a medical emergency or something like that, they get treated. Now, you don't get to walk into an urgent care or schedule appointments with a doctor in terms of being an illegal immigrant, but the right believes that even if you need stabilizing ER care, you shouldn't get it. They don't want you to get any care at all. Even if you go out and get hit by a bus and somebody drag your unconscious body to an ER, you're here illegally. They don't want you treated at all.
Man, look, it's life fucking affirming care. I don't understand what the problem is. It's just like if you go over fucking Jamaica, you gotta go to a fucking hospital. You think they're gonna charge you right then and there? No, they're gonna try to fix your.
But won't they? But if you are overseas and they do give you some kind of life affirming care, won't they charge you after you're been treated?
Well, I don't know. I've never really been that far over fucking seas, but I can tell you the couple times I went out of state, I didn't have anything happen. But the idea that we have a problem in this country with taking care of sick fucking people is disgusting. We're supposed to be the country of, the free world, are we not? So why is there a problem with you motherfuckers who really think that oh my God, we don't need to take care of them. We shouldn't do anything to help these people. I mean, most of these people that you guys are duly fucking criminalizing as illegals, quote unquote, air quotes, are fucking people who claimed asylum. We're not even talking about motherfuckers just running through the fucking border. We're talking about people who claimed asylum and are waiting for their fucking court date. But y'all want to round them up and throw them out to another fucking country they ain't never been into.
That is true. The overwhelming majority of the people that are being kicked out and called illegal immigrants are either people that came here to claim asylum or had TPS status. That does represent most of them. It's not people who ran across the desert at high speed or got smuggled in some kind of trunk of a car or something like that. It is mostly people because they're the easiest ones. Trump said he wants 3,000 deportees per day. So the easiest ones are the people that that claimed asylum or have TPS because you got all their address and information on file. You can easily go get them. So that's why most of them are the ones that actually did run across the Rio Grande or whatever. It's a lot easier for them to hide because you don't have any information on them. The people they're going after. That's why they're yanking people out of courtrooms and things like that. Well, you already know where he's going to be, so he's an easy person to get.
You know what I find funny? And we're talking about this, but the bigger problem is actually, and now I am going to bring in the rest of the dumbass shit he's doing, like blowing up those boats, or the stupid ass shit he said about Nigeria, talking about he finna go in and fucking stop something. Motherfucker, you not doing nothing. It's all the same fucking sick joke that Columbus played in the first fucking place. This country is ran on fucking corruption. You're going over there to try to get the fucking minerals and that fucking oil out of Nigeria. You're going to Venezuela. You're going to Argentina or Venezuela to go get the fucking oil fields out of there. You're doing the same fucking thing everybody else did. It's not about anything other than money. And it's then the first time as soon as you hear a MAGA motherfucker come in, that's they start talking about my wallet, my stock portfolio, my money, my change. But you're not thinking about nobody else. So your existence is based on self. Fuck what other else things happen. And the idea that people sit up and say they're Christian behind that is fucking disgusting. Because God ain't never told you to only worry about yourself. If I remember correctly, the Bible said, love thy neighbor as you love your own, correct?
I can't
That's
argue
something
with
that
that.
the Bible said. The sentiment of the Bible was to do to treat people like you've been treated. And most of the time, you're supposed to treat people with fucking love. But unfortunately, in this fucking society, we can't do that. And that's fucking sick.
King, I gotta move it on, but we are a capitalist country. Capitalism is not about morality, it's about making money, and that's exactly what you're saying. Give you the last word.
Man, I'm gonna tell you again, man. I'm gonna start you qualify as a MAGA person now. You qualify for special
one
education.
fucking broadcast? Really?
Yeah, man. You qualify as special education. I'm gonna have to get you an IEP plan and shit, because you MAGA now.
Oh my Lord. I gotta go. Bye. Goodbye. I didn't hear the outro. Mr. Winkle says the pointy white hat guys at the Trump rallies look at the black guy next to them as a useful idiot. Well, here's the thing about that, and I'm not going to pretend like there may not be pointy hat guys at Trump rallies, or at the very least, people with the same mindset as pointy hat guys, because I don't think there's a lot of pointy hat guys around anymore, but the mindset obviously still lives on. When you say look at the black guy next to them as a useful idiot, I think in a lot of cases the black guy next to them don't realize what he's next to. That's what, because listen, at the end of the day, the pointy hat guys have a lengthy history of lying about being part of the pointy hat crew, or even admitting the mindset they have. I'm reading, I mentioned this the other day, I'm reading a book by Bill O'Reilly called Confronting Evil, I think it is, and he talks about the guy who founded the Klan or whatever. That guy went to his deathbed denying that he ever had anything to do with the Klan at all. And he founded it. I mean, people lie about that stuff. So I could see somebody sitting next to the guy and not knowing it, but I guess that does play into your claim about him being a useful idiot. So there is some accuracy there. Handsome Stubby Finger says, I love the beautiful king sharks in the sea. Is that a reference to King Finn, the way he came on the program and was so nice to the host? Is that what you're getting at, Handsome Stubby Fingers? Briefly here, Edgar Real Jr. says, real Trump derangement syndrome is believing that Trump has never done anything wrong and has never lied to the American people. That's straight cult. That would be cult qualifications. Is there anybody out there that believes that? That President Trump has never done anything wrong and has never told a lie to the American people? I think even MAGA will admit he ain't been honest about everything. Believes that Trump has never done anything wrong and has never lied to the American people. That would be real hardcore cult material. Tap the screen, folks. Get your boy up to 95. We'll take the next caller. Let the king speak. He's referencing my last caller, King Finn. Let the king speak. The king knows best what he's talking about. Let the king do his work. The best medicine to the people. King Finn 2028 for vice president. So who are you suggesting be the president there, handsome stubby fingers? You're putting King Finn as the VP slot. Who are you putting at the head of the helm? Mr. Winkle says, unchecked capitalism creates socialism. That's how Ford helped create unions. When you take everything from everyone, it doesn't end well. That also leads to many folks with the signs that says, eat the rich. I agree with that statement 100%, Mr. Winkle. Unchecked capitalism does create socialism. That's one of the things we say on the program all the time is that most Americans are capitalists, but the system we have now is failing a lot of Americans. And they're like, well, shit, I'm willing to try something else if this is what I'm supposed to deal with. I do agree with that. There's only so many regulations you can remove from employers and the wealthy. There's only so many hurdles you can put on the poor before they do start to suggest that capitalism is not working for us, which is probably part of why Mamdani is so popular in the nation's largest city. Mr. Wiggins says, pointy hat guys are making a large comeback. Gropers. Well, I don't know about a comeback, Mr. Winkle. I think the mindset's always been there. I don't know about them putting on a bed linen and actually going around in pointy hat outfits, but I think the mindset has always been there. I think some would suggest that they feel more emboldened or comfortable coming out with it because some people are saying members of the Trump administration are doing it themselves. But it's always been there. Whether people tell you that or not, it's always been there. LGBTQ, says Paul Sauce, using those letters as acronyms for let's get back Trump quickly. Well, you're not going to get him back quickly. He's already in there. So if Trump is president, coming up on nearly a year, and you're saying let's get Trump back in there, that means you're not seeing any benefit of him being around. It's almost as if you don't even know he's there. That's a problem. Real quick in the comments here. They never left. They just went stealth. They never stopped being stealth, if you ask me. Miss Mo Better. Okay, Tim, fluff you later, says Freedom Fighter. Thank you, Freedom. Appreciate you tuning in. Miss Mo Better.
Tim, you was fluffing your nuts off, but I'm not gonna do it.
Thank you. Help your boy out.
They was wearing your ass out. I think it's enough for you tonight. You know.
You sound like the bartender. You sound like the bartender at 1 a.m. that just refuses to serve me anymore. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you cut it off. You cut it off. They was eating your ass up, though.
Oh my God! And I did not deserve it, Miss Mobetta. I did not deserve it.
I'm saying you what you always do. Try to get Trump credit. What I'm gonna say is what Trump should have did was take the playbook from Obama on how to deport the people without people attacking him. Because Obama did deport just as many people, if not more, than Trump has. And you don't see people going around hating Obama for it, do you?
No. Well, okay. the reason Trump is going to get more hatred than any other politician is his mouth. I mean, listen, Obama droned folks, Obama killed Bin Laden, Obama was a wartime president. He didn't brag about it. He didn't come across as taking pleasure in the misery of others. Trump seems to like people being miserable.
Goes to show you how your character can carry you a lot further than your skill.
Yeah.
And that's why we speak a lot on character. He has a shitty character. It really is no other way to put it. MAGA still tries to excuse the stuff that he says and he does, but that's just not presidential. That's not leadership qualities. That doesn't give people the chance to even respect him. When he attacks people before they even get a chance to say anything.
Well, but the thing about it is, my beloved MAGA, my MAGA side of the crowd, you guys are claiming I'm fluffing for, they favor what Trump is doing because they believe that the liberals attacked Trump nonstop, tried to prevent him from being president, tried to throw him in jail, tried to bankrupt him and his family. So they favor what he's doing as deserved revenge. But
listen, most of the shit that they was bringing Trump up on what he was found guilty of or liable.
I didn't say what was true or not. I'm simply saying how they feel. I do agree that most of the stuff.
MAGA's their thing is fuck your feelings. We go on facts over here.
Yeah.
Right? Is that not what? Is that not one of their slogans? Fuck your feelings.
That is
it's
one of
about
the
facts.
That is one of the
Okay
slogans.
then. So now that the shoe is on the other foot, listen. Take that same walk. Keep that same energy.
Well, my whole take on it is this: you can either make America great or you can get revenge. You're not going to do them at the same time. Even if you believe the liberals deserve to have revenge bestowed upon them, you can't get that revenge while making the country great again. It's just, because now you're getting involved with fights.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
And he's not even doing anything to try to smooth things out over with people, with his opposition, the opposition that they're crying that they need. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, if the Democrats, if all we need is 8 Democrats, no, listen, let's be real truthful about this shit. This was his plan from day one to do what is exactly is happening right now. Elon said it. Oh, people are gonna suffer. Did he not say that? Am I lying?
It ain't just Elon ain't just said it. He said it. He actually said I was going to be your retribution president. He said it himself.
Yeah. So how are we supposed to trust that?
Yeah.
How is anybody, not even just me, even the supporters, how do y'all trust some shit like that? Oh, it's for short-term gain. So how long is short-term? What are the timelines on these things here? Oh, you're just assuming that it's going to be the 3 years that he's in office? I think not. He doesn't concede. He doesn't concede. He'll destroy this shit before he allows it to move forward.
Well, I don't know. I like I said, I think that any president, even if you have the right to be pissed off, I think any president running on a platform of revenge is just making their own job harder, because now you're in a fight with half the country, and that's just making it harder for you.
Not just half the country, even half the people on his side. Not all the Republicans rock with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Not all of them do.
But they're not getting in the way, Ms. Mo, but they are, for the most part, running with him. They're backing him.
Well, no, the important ones are the ones that are in the important position, the ones that hold that power, like Mike Johnson. See, and that's where the problem is. Mike Johnson has the power to shut Trump down from doing anything that he's doing right now, and he won't. What Trump wants is the power of the purse. He wants to control the money as well as everything else.
Wasn't Mike Johnson? Well, I know McCarthy, the other Speaker of the House, was before John. Wasn't Mike Johnson also one of the first to go back and show Trump support after the January 6th stuff? He was supportive of Trump in the offseason. So.
He's a wholehearted. He's supportive. Period. Yeah. It's and just to go back a little bit, when people were talking about Kamala didn't do, Kamala did a lot for people that they didn't understand that she was doing. Well, no, that y'all don't want to give her credit for. First of all, half of y'all on this motherfucker smoke weed. Guess who sponsored that bill? Kamala.
As a senator.
Kamala. It doesn't matter. She still sponsored it. She did shit for y'all that carried over into her vice president. Like you said, the vice president doesn't do much.
Right. But you people are also going to
that they are enjoying, or the stuff that actually help people. It was because she sponsored it.
But people are also going to point out maybe she did that as having a guilt trip because she locked a lot of people up for marijuana also.
When did she lock those people up? Marijuana wasn't legal.
When she was
but she was a district attorney.
Right.
Selling weed and all of that shit was not legal, Tim. That was her doing her job.
But as a district attorney and as she was a DA and a attorney general or whatever, you can actually determine whether or not somebody get charged with a crime. I mean, yeah, it's a crime, but you can determine how tough the charges are. You got a lot of room to move around.
You can, but the judge has the final say on what the sentence is, not the DA. And Mag reacts to it. It's called the Moore's Act. I implore you to go look it up. It's called the Moore Act.
Yeah. Well, I'm just simply saying that when they usually say what did Kamala Harris do, they mean as VP. And as VP, you don't really do much at all. Hang on one second, real quick. Mr. Wingle says your pointy hat guys are not at Democrat rallies. True. Not in modern times. The black guy next to me at a Democrat rally is part of the movement and my equal. So he's suggesting that there are hidden traitors sitting next to Green.
Say that again. I kind of missed that.
The pointy hat guys, you know who they are?
Yes.
Okay. So he says your pointy hat guys are not at Democrat rallies. He says the black guy next to me at a Democrat rally is part of the actual movement and my equal. So he's saying if you're at a Democrat rally and you're sitting next to a black guy, he is equal to you and part of what you are there for. But that may not be the case if you're at a Trump rally.
No, that's probably true. It could be, but I'm not really digging into that. I'm not going to go there because then that just takes it somewhere else. Takes it somewhere else.
I'll leave it at
that. But
that.
Again, to my initial point on here, what Trump is doing, what's happening now with the government shutdown, this was his plan. Because now with all the AI programs and stuff, he has to see how well this country is going to do without the people that he have in place now that are in their jobs. Because listen, my job is in jeopardy also. I work it for the Department of Energy.
Now, I talked to you about this a few weeks or something. So now your job is in jeopardy.
Yes.
Wow.
So what happens is we just had a meeting today, and my job itself can sustain employment with the 3,000 employees that we have there until mid-December. So if the government doesn't open up by mid-December, then they'll start furloughing people. Well, we have 3 national labs that already are doing. They're already furloughing people. So, this is not.
Are you seeing people?
Not just about Medicaid and Medicare, and I don't want people to get twisted about that. It's not just about that. And you know why he's going so hard about shit like that is because he has no plan to replace anything that he's talking about. Now, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, was set to expire in December anyway. So it's not just because of the shutdown. So what the shutdown comes, it's a lot of other stuff that's in there, but they're just focusing on Medicaid and Medicare so he can rule out everybody else, like people in the IRS, people at the Department of Energy. See, I work for a science lab. He doesn't favor science. They don't believe in science. They talk against the scientists and stuff like that. So he wants to take out a lot of these jobs that AI can actually perform, and then they're going to go from there.
You got to have a lot of concerned and distraught people around you then. I mean, because right before Christmas and such a short, people got to be dead and crying.
And that's what happened, because that's when open enrollment, that's when all the fiscal year usually ends in like October anyway. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just a real bad time to have your fiscal year end. and that's always have been,
Do you think the government's going to stay closed potentially that long until December?
I believe it is, because you're dealing with ego. Right now you're dealing with ego. Neither side wants to bend. Trump was like, no, if they do this, and the other side said no, if you don't do this. So it's a tit for tat right now. They're not even sitting down and have any kind of plan. And this is the hardest part, because Trump has no backup plan for the people as far as not even just the SNAP, like the Medicaid and Medicare and stuff. He has no backup plan for the ACA.
Should the Democrats perhaps swallow their ego for the sake of people like you and many others?
Nope. You know why? Because he's going to do it either way. Even if they was to concede, he's still going to continue on with his program because they want to move forward with AI. A1, like Linda McMahon said. Look at, why do you think the Department of Education, they're gutting every department out there already, Tim?
So even though you personally have a job that is at risk, you still believe the Democrats should stick this out because you think
stay the course.
Wow.
Stay the course. Yep, stay the course. As hard as that sounds, stay the course. Yep. Because other than that, he's just going to continue to just do outlandish shit, which he's going to do anyway. Because like I said, this was all in his plan from day one. This did not just start. It's been in his plan. Look at the first 3 months in office. How many people did he fire? Over 300,000 people lost their jobs by April. Damn. That was just the first quarter of his presidency. The first quarter of the first year, excuse me. 300,000 people had already, when they cut the DEI program, that was first. So now he just want to see, let me see how far I can go again. He's going to keep pushing the envelope, pushing it. And this is why, okay, let me send out the National Guards, because when it comes to the voting and stuff for the midterms, he got to have that shit in place. Because the only way he can win if he cheats. I'm sorry.
You think that many folks that voted for Trump, MAGA, are that distraught with Trump that they would vote left?
Well, you're seeing it. That's like you said. You can't discredit what happened yesterday. A lot of his votes came from Hispanic people. Yeah. Do you see how he treated them?
But let me see it happening in Louisiana or Tennessee somewhere. Seeing Hispanics vote against Trump in New York, I get it. I don't want to have Takesha come back on here and tear me up, but seeing Hispanics vote against Trump in New York is not the same as seeing them do it in Kentucky, if you know what I mean.
It still makes a big difference. He was hurt. He was hurt by them elections yesterday. He was hurt by it.
Hurt? Well, you think he was hurt? I mean, Trump ain't got to run again.
Did you hear him talk after that? Did you hear him talk about the elections? How he said, they said it would have been better if Trump was on the ballot, but I wasn't. So it's just, this is a sad day. Like, listen, he's hurt by that shit. Well, because you see, Elon ain't got his hands in a lot of shit that he had for the presidential. But again, he can't win unless he cheats. You may not believe it, and that's my opinion. For TikTok purposes, that is my opinion.
I'm not going to say.
I don't want you to get flagged for some shit.
Well, I'm not going to say he can't win it unless he cheats, but I will say that he absolutely has turned off a lot of people. I mean, the healthcare stuff we talked about on the program, your SNAP benefits we've talked about. I mean, some of the things he is doing is hurting many of his own supporters. There's no denying that. I mean, some people are pissed off about Argentina. The tariffs are hurting Trump supporters. The soybean halt is hurting Trump supporters.
The tariffs are hurting everybody.
Yeah.
And see, this is the thing. This is why it's hard to reach out to MAGA. They think that they're exempt from the shit that's happening. That the things he talk about, I'm going to cut all Democratic programs and stuff, that is just going to affect Democratic voters or supporters or whatever. It's going to affect them as well.
There's no way to prevent that because Republicans are everywhere just like the Democrats are. If you target California or Illinois or New York, liberal states, there are plenty of Republicans in those states. So when you start cutting off federal funding, like he said he said he could see himself cutting off federal funding to New York with Mamdani if he won, which Mamdani has won.
Yeah, he definitely said it.
Yeah, but if you cut off,
I don't see giving a lot of money to New York for that is so illegal. First of all, you can't weaponize the government. You cannot do it. Yeah. And I don't know, for the life of me, I think MAGA, he's saying a lot of things that they would like to say. I don't get why they support some shit like that can actually harm them. For the life of me.
Somebody,
I don't know. I'm not even trying to make up an excuse of why.
the guy just has a real high status with MAGA. Some of it I don't understand. Somebody in the comments said I got a kirk in my neck. It's a shooting pain. Do you mean a kink? Like you have a kink? It makes spelled it wrong. He said kirk.
Crazy. Yeah.
No, you know, sometimes you wake up and you slept wrong. You got a kink. I think he meant kink.
No bullshit. He know exactly what he said, and you do too.
I got a kirk in my neck.
I got a kirk in my neck.
Okay, I'm gonna move. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sounds horrible. Okay,
get that man a rose over there on YouTube.
I gotta move it on, Miss Mo.
Now you give me a little 2 minutes. You ready to kick me off and shit?
You sound like my ex-wife. I give you more than 2 minutes.
Oh no, shit! You'd be my ex too if you was only a 2 minute man. What the fuck?
There is no such thing as a 2 minute man. Nobody goes that quick. That is a woman's myth. That doesn't exist. Nobody going off in no. Ain't nobody going off in no damn 2 minutes. Your body don't work that fast.
Yeah, all right.
2 minutes.
You ain't been with the right woman then.
Okay, you must got a heater. I gotta go.
Now you wanna go.
No wonder why they call you Miss Mo better. Nobody does it better than that. I gotta go. Thank you for coming on. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Anyway, folks, I do appreciate the 90,000 likes. I didn't get to 100. I guess I didn't solicit it as much. You guys know how the program is ran. Mr. Winkle says the Germans have a term for what happened back in 1942. Wehrmacht. I know I'm mispronouncing this because you're writing this in German. Until they feel it. I've said this many times. I do believe that cruelty in the eyes of MAGA isn't that bad until it happens to them. I do believe, some of the stuff that's happening to immigrants and things like that, for instance, being stopped by ICE solely because of your skin color or your language of origin or where you happen to be, like in front of a Home Depot or something like MAGA would not like that shit. There's no way in hell any true patriot would agree with the cops being able to stop them just because of their skin color or them speaking English or some shit like that. So I do believe that some of this stuff it's okay to be cruel as long as you don't do it to us. I do believe there is some of that to it. Because that should be wrong no matter what political affiliation you are in. It should be wrong to do that. You can be certain. I don't care if you do feel upset that there are... And by the way, tap the screen. Go ahead and make that 100K happen. Tap the screen, show your boy some love. But I do believe that if you believe in the Constitution, you should be against that. Period. Violation of the Fourth Amendment, unwarranted searches and seizures, you should be against that. You should absolutely be against allowing somebody to stop anybody simply because you know Americans are getting caught up in that shit. There's no denying that brown Americans are getting caught up in that. People who have never been outside of the country or anything. They just happen to look a certain way. Arabs, obviously Hispanics. Who else is brown? Maybe people from Greece, Middle Easterners. Just you look a certain way, so now they can stop you and start questioning you and shit. That's wrong as long as the days are. I do believe some folks are okay as long as it's not happening to them. So that part needs to stop. The man is in heaven, says Denise. So you're talking about, who are you talking about this in heaven? I think I know you're talking, but I'll leave it at that. And the midterms, there are a lot more Democrats that turns up than Republicans. So odds are on Republicans to win. What do you, both Democrats, Senator Jay? You think there's more Democrats that turn up than Republicans? It depends on what people are turning up for. I'm going to say it like that. It depends on how, who's running and the passion that they create amongst the voters. Simple as that. Anyhow, folks, I do appreciate the 91,000. We didn't reach 100. A lot of lazy fingers in here. If you enjoy this type of dialogue, uncensored programming, I'm going to ask that you give your boy a sub if you're watching on YouTube. We're here most weekdays. Happen to be watching on Instagram, TikTok, or currently X. We are on X right now. I'm still trying to figure it out, but we are live on all of the platforms just mentioned right now. We run simultaneously on all platforms: X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thinking about getting back on Clapper. I had somebody request it, but nevertheless, if you favor that, go ahead and follow the program, give your boy a sub, and until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. And same with you guys on YouTube. I got to go. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I'm out. Take care.